to tonight's lovely session here with our wonderful crew. First off, we want to give a quick thanks, shout out to Forge, letting us use their wonderful services here. If you need to host Foundry, be sure to check them out. And without further ado, we'll introduce the wonderful cast and crew and find out what's going on in their lives. Dimension.
What's up?
What's happening?
It's just more Witcher 2, more Witcher 2, more Witcher 2. Yeah, just working through that and doing as many side quests as I can to see if it's better to actually be at the proper level when you finish the game, or just rush through it. Because I rushed through the first one and realized I didn't even access like the final area of the skill tree at all. So
Yeah.
it's no wonder I had trouble with some of the bosses and died 10 or 15 times to a boss. And at one point was actually considering like finding a previous save so I could get out of the boss area that I couldn't leave. Just to do some side quests to level up and get past it. But yeah. And then Friday night, some Friday nights, I'm playing Phasmo with Puppy and Blue Diamond Ben and whoever else joins. I had an unbroadcast role-playing game last night, so I didn't get to join them. But yeah, and then a week from this coming Wednesday, we'll be back in Middle Earth again. I think our lore master is stateside, so we couldn't run anything this week. He's at a convention. Actually got to go up and meet him for the first time, and Viva La Vega, which is another guy that's on our Lord of the Rings game. I've known our lore master Kevin for 6 years now. I think I first played with him 6 years ago, and he's from the UK.
Wow.
And then I've known Viva for 5 years, I think. We did the math, and I got to go. Kevin, our lore master, flew in and staying with Viva for a few days, and I got to go up a couple hours away from here and hang out with them for a couple hours and meet them for the first time in 5 or 6 years. So it was pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, cool, man. Keep it up.
Sure.
And yeah, Witcher definitely is a standard RPG where they kind of expected you to have done at least some of the side quests to be leveled. So that's a good idea, to at least do some of it to get at least a adequate level.
Yeah, grind those points up.
To be fair, the Witcher 2 side quests too are a little more interesting and a little more intensive than the Witcher 1 side quests. There would be a lot less running and walking around in The Witcher 2 if I knew where I was going. But at least in The Witcher 2, I can blame all of the running in circles on myself because I have no idea what I'm doing. Whereas The Witcher 1, it was walking simulator because you had to go talk to this person, and then this person, and then this person. There's a few quests like that in The Witcher 2, but it's not quite that bad. It's only that bad now because I don't know what I'm doing, and I run in circles in every game I play. So,
but it's helpful when at least you feel like you can blame yourself instead of the game being that way. But yeah,
oh yeah, definitely.
Cool. Keep it up. 3 will be fun. We might be christening the PC with 3. That's part of the reason why that would be good to do.
That's why we're
multiple hundreds of hours.
Well,
that's why we're holding out on 2 as long as we can. I'm dragging it out so we can christen the PC with The Witcher. It might not be the first game we play on it, but it'll likely be the first real stream on it. So
I would recommend enjoying 2 and taking your time, because if you can play 3 on the new computer, it will function better and you'll probably enjoy it more.
I probably will either way. Even if I finish 2, I might try to do some other random game for a while, because I think with where I'm at in 2, by the time I finish 2, it's pretty likely that I'll either be very close to the PC or have it by then. Because I mean, I'm 6 or 7 streams in to The Witcher 2, and I just like 2 streams ago got into chapter 2 of the game. So we're not making very fast progress, and I think there's 6 chapters in this one. So I mean, we have roughly 4.5 chapters to go still. So it'll be a bit. If the first chapter is any direction, any like indicator of what the rest of the chapters are going to be like.
Yeah. No, it is. It is. So. Well, cool. Matt, what about you, sir?
I've been a very busy boy. Very busy boy. What am I gonna say? I've done a lot of streams this week. I had to sort of, well, I was getting all emotional in regard to my studies, and that wasn't good. It was negative emotions. And so I had to sort of reevaluate where I was at, and I took a little bit of a break from expectations and from like overthinking everything, and I just said, you know what, I might lose out if I take some time out, but I just need to. So I've taken some time out this week, and I've gotten some gaming time for myself in, and some relaxation time, and that's allowed me to do some streaming again. I've streamed Risk again for the first time in a while, twice this week. Both of those streams were extremely successful. The first one was an average view count of over 35, which is totally ridiculous, and yeah. So I may go back and do that a little bit more regularly again, because the community there is unbelievable. So thank you to everybody that came along for that. Yeah, both of them were really, really good, and I've done a Last Epoch stream with Lady Vengeance and Borderlands, so we resumed those this week. We were playing Diablo 3, but Lady Vengeance just wasn't enjoying Diablo 3. Her character had been totally nerfed, and she just felt like she couldn't do anything, and she tried another character, but that wasn't any fun either, and so she was just banging her head up against the wall and just going, I'm not enjoying it. And I said, well, I've been playing Last Epoch. It's a similar type of game. I'm having a lot of fun. It's a little bit more thinking, but I think you might enjoy it. It's in early access. We've got some lag and whatever, but it's really fun. So she came along, she played it, and she's like, yes, this game is now in my yes list. So it was a really nice sort of mood change from, oh my gosh, I'm having a terrible time, to actually this is really fun and I can actually do things and not instantly die or feel like other people are ridiculously powerful. It's balanced a bit better, and I can actually build the way I want. So that's been really good, to have a bit of a chill and relax and reset, and my mindset is a whole lot better now. I'm still struggling, but I got my first results back this week, which were also, in my mind at least, excellent results, distinction level results, which I'm very thankful for and very humbled by. So at this stage of the week, I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking.
Awesome.
Also, real quick, I ran a special encounter for one of my home groups this week. They specifically went hunting down a monster, which I named Mirtrag the Imagined Darkness. It was a massive creature. It had 20 legs. They are level 4 only, and they went hunting down this thing on purpose. The battle took 3 in-game hours. 3 in-game hours. Two of the 5 died. All of them except for one were unconscious more than once. But they made it through just barely by the last person managing to kill it before he went down and bring the other 2 that were still alive but unconscious and bleeding out back to life. It was a very rough battle, but they're gonna be talking about that for months. It was fantastic, and I want to riff about it because it was just one of those experiences that you can't really get anywhere else, you know. So it was wonderful. So doing good, thank you.
That's exactly what I envisioned happening if we would have went with Blackstone's plan when it was just Blackstone and Seamus playing, and he wanted to go face the thing that's in the caves.
Oh, okay. Yeah, alright.
It would have been memorable. It would have been memorable.
Memorable in the fact that, like, he and I would be dead.
I didn't say who would be memorable for. It would be memorable for the viewers to get to watch such a catastrophe unfold.
Matt would have showed up the next session and been like, "Where's Azrael and Dimension?" And Diamondx is just like, "Well, their characters died. They're done. It's just you now. It's just Zid and Doc."
Roll.
I'm glad to have you guys still around.
Well, they'll have to fill you in on the pic they got from their contact on what this guy actually looks like. And share their theories with you.
So it sounds kind of juicy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say we were up in arms about this.
Not doing recap this week. Not doing recap this week.
Sorry, you've already been nominated.
Too bad. I decline.
All right, Ezra, let's find out what's going on with you, and then we'll kick things off.
Oh, no. I mean, everything's been good this week. Just watching lots of people play great games. I think that you and I did a stream on Sunday.
Yep.
Again, more War Tales. And it's such a great game. I'm playing one offline, and I have 11 companions, but 3 of them are wolves and 2 of them are horses. I cannot come anywhere close to beating that elite champion in Tiltron. He immediately kills 2 people within the first.
You need to have the right armor to do it, and
I believe you.
And yeah, like you need to gear up for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he has a really nice gear that you get from him.
It's good.
But you do need to have good gear before that.
So he's in the red right now. So can I handle him at orange, or do I need to get him to yellow?
It's not the population of your squad.
No. I mean, like my gear, like.
Yeah.
How good does my gear have to be?
Well, I was gonna say it's more the level of your squad, which the level of your squad changes him, but it gives you more abilities to control and do things with him, right? Hamper his movement and whatnot. And your gear, you want to make sure you have properly leveled gear. So if you're level 3, you want to make sure you have 3 gear on everyone. If you're 5, you want to make sure you have level 5 gear on everyone, right? You want to make sure you have good gear on everyone.
Forge it if I have to, right?
Steal, beg, plead.
Yeah, it's true.
Turn in lots and lots and lots of Bandits. I mean, that's literally how my group has been floating and paying for 3 bears, which is absurd. That is 36 food per camp.
Oh,
just in bears.
I'm at like 30. Oh, just the bears. Oh,
just in bears. 36 food in bears. I have like nearly a 60 food budget per camp. And I've literally been funding that with bandits.
There's only so many bandits.
Well, the problem is the prison only takes so many.
Yeah.
That's been more my issue, is that the prison will only take about 3 per day.
We're full up.
Yeah. So that's actually been the biggest hindrance. The other thing I've been doing is selling off their gear and trying to make sure that I heal and repair in town. But maybe I'll pull that one up Sunday and let you guys see that one. I was showing Matt it before we started the stream, but yeah, I got 3 bears from prison.
I did manage to so I learned that if you get into a fight with boars, capture them with ropes.
Yep.
Don't kill them, because then you just get their carcasses. You capture them with ropes and like level them up like a little bit.
You can slaughter them.
You can slaughter them, and they turn into like good pork, and like
Yep.
I think you can get some grease off of them too. So I've learned that much.
I haven't bothered with that yet, but I have 3 cozy bears.
Oh boy.
Hey,
What
3
did you
valid
name
points.
them?
But back to Cyberpunk or any other stuff in your stream.
No, I'm good.
All right, let's get this going and find out what transpires this eve. So, last session, we'll make it a group event. What happened last session?
One big thing that happened is, as I was reminded, is we set up dead drops to get equipment. We've pilfered a few things, and plan to pilfer a few more. And we've kind of worked out somewhat of a system to get them to and from our stash.
Without cutting people open.
Yeah, exactly. Without surgery.
Still can't believe you guys thought about going that route.
I was just trying to help Doc out, okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
I think the big takeaway from all of that was that we got, I guess, I forgot what we called it, but basically we got a device to be able to run the turret.
Yes.
Something that Zid can work with. An agent. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like a remote agent. It's in a cell phone.
So we can at least possibly put that turret to some use at some point. We got seemingly a lot of information. We found Seamus got trapped again in the same room, except this time the trap was set for associates of the contact, and apparently the corporation is onto him. And they set a trap to try to catch his contacts so that they could track him down. And I can't remember if we actually found out they are holding him or if they're just looking for him.
We did. We got a picture.
Okay, so they are holding him, so they're just trying to catch his contacts then.
Yeah.
I was released by our shadowy invisible friend and allowed to escape from said trap. We've kind of been tasked to either assist in getting this contact out, or at least letting them know where he's at and letting them get them out. But I have a strong feeling that we're gonna get involved in that somewhere, somehow, at some point. And we also got a picture of our friendly neighborhood monster in the cave. What did I miss? Anything? Anything of note?
I'm pretty sure you did pretty darn good. So I think your recap skills have improved.
I mean,
Or they were just
Finally leveled up.
underplayed the whole time. And we were actually good the whole time.
You haven't heard some of my other recaps.
no, you did good, man. That was a good summary.
My problem with recaps is I'll start telling something and hitting key points, and then I'll realize, oh, I didn't give any context for that because I forgot this event that happened before that, and then I'll try to go back and do it, so the timeline gets all messed up.
Okay.
Well, I get that. But no, you did good, man. You did good. And yeah, you hit a lot of the points that mattered, and you hit the highlights. It's a good bullet point summary of last session. So, we find you all in your room, getting ready to head out for the next morning's shift. How do you all inform your good friend Zed about the lovely picture that you got from your associate? Well, he's been busy with work.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually we still have the agent, right? We actually have. I tossed this his way and hey, look what we found. What do you think? Well, and while he's looking at that, I show him a picture of the guy, just to see if it how some people they just see an image and subconsciously they're like, ooh, that rings a bell. Try to see if that maybe him or his companion that's traveling with him kind of pick up on it.
So you're showing him the picture that came from Shadow of the being in the cave, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, the agent that Blackstone showed you has been jury-rigged to be at node point. And that's something you see when he hands it to you. And then he flashes this picture at you. Go ahead and describe it. What you recall.
It's the monster, right? Or is it?
It's the forearm. You guys call him a monster, but he's not technically a monster.
Yeah. So this is kind of like what we're up against. It's like a humanoid with that has an attachment, like a cyberware attachment on their back that allows them to have an extra set of arms. So they have two cyber arms as well as 2 real arms and legs, and so it basically looks like kind of like a scorpion. At least that's how I would describe it, because I absolutely detest arachnids in general. So that's definitely how I would describe it. Especially seeing the metal talons on the cyber arms.
So there's a cybernetic implant that is artificial shoulder, which allows you to basically have 2 additional cyber arms. So this guy has...
Wait a minute. 2 cyber arms in addition to 2 other ones? Or
yes, you can have your normal arms replaced with cyber arms if you want. Okay. And this is artificial shoulders attached 2 additional arms on. So you'd have 4 arms total, 2 on each side.
So on this guy, or on this thing, is it metal arms? 4 metal arms?
Oh, they're all cyber arms.
Okay, yeah. So 4 metal arms.
His meat arms were cybered up and mostly cyber, and then he has 2 fully cyber arms on top of it.
What about metal legs or no?
It's kind of hard to tell, but you guess probably based on the level of.
So he's Adam Smasher.
Cybered up that he is. Well, no, because you can tell he actually has meat parts in his chest cavity and stuff, and he's not full Borg.
Yeah.
He's just very chromed out.
Okay. Yeah, this is the scary dude that we get to
You guys played 2077, right?
Mhm.
You know the animals?
Mhm.
This guy would be in that group. But with an extra set of cyber arms. Hmm?
So it's been a little while since I played.
The animals are the group that is like the bodybuilder group. They're extra tall, extra broad, extra muscular. They're all about brute brawn.
Yeah. So when Blackstone tosses Zid, first the agent, Zid takes one look at it and goes, "Is this what I think it is, man?" And he sort of tips it over and he goes, "Yes, it is what I think it is. Where did you get this, man?"
Seamus, please tell him where this came from.
Let's just say I've got me ways.
He found it. Found it in a container
I see.
at his work.
That is very good work.
I mean, to be fair, like it was probably like dropped there by a dock worker, and it fell out of their pocket or something, and it's probably just like a cheap phone that you buy from like the corner store convenience store, and so whatever, it still works for our purpose.
It most certainly does. Very good. We might be able to get the turret working with this. Should we need it. And we probably will eventually.
Probably.
Oh,
And,
we will. We will.
He goes, and then Blackstone tosses him the picture. And he has a look at it. He looks at Blackstone. He looks back at the picture. Looks at Seamus. Looks back at the picture. And goes, well, fuck.
Hey, you know what? While you were taking a rest, he and I could have taken this thing on, and we would have gotten absolutely wrecked, and you would be without the two of us. So, we made the prudent decision to disengage and pull back, and allow you to have this fun with us. So,
Oh, so I can come and die too. Excellent.
Absolutely.
I like that idea very much.
You're welcome.
Couldn't let Blackstone have all the fun.
Perhaps I must have been a few days out on my last estimate of death.
Just a few. I mean, I wonder if like maybe there's a way that you can like interface with his the cyberware and maybe give us a leg up.
I will do everything I can.
I think the more likely thing to happen is that his claws will be interfacing with our bodies.
Well, I deeply look forward to that experience, man.
It's fine. Doc can just jump in front of him. That's cool. Doc's got plenty of meat on him.
That's probably going to happen anyways, but...
Absolutely. Hey, Doc, you wanted a target. Have fun.
Don't... That's a good thing he's asleep, because after that, he would go down there alone.
Ooh,
I don't know if you know...
Roar.
I don't know if you know this, Blackstone, but we call him Doc, and he's slightly good at medical things, but there's not much going on up here.
You know what? Maybe he calls himself Doc because he wants to have the air of intelligence, and he just doesn't. It's just not there.
Seamus, like, opens his mouth to say something and then, like, catches himself and stops. and like you guys might not hear it, but you know, if there was these people watching somewhere else, they would hear Seamus go, just kind of mutter to, like, turn his head away from you guys. Actually, he hates being called dog.
I thought I remembered hearing him say that, like very early on, and we just didn't stop. We just kept going. So I don't know if we're just making him even more mad and he's just gonna Hulk out on us one day, or or if he's just like grin and bearing and like just I'm just like
So
setting up. I'm bottling all this stuff up, and one day I'm just gonna like Hulk out and like kill you all.
So I don't think y'all's characters are privy to this, but he doesn't like unless he's changed in the time that we've been here. He doesn't like being called Doc, but Seamus calls him it all the time, and he's just kind of accepted the fact that Seamus won't stop. Like we and Paul have had this conversation, but he's even said, he's like, you're calling me Doc now, they're calling me Doc, and I'm like, yeah, that's what Seamus does. And he's like,
God damn it.
But he doesn't like being called Doc, and I'm like, I'm not going to tell the other two that. So
hey, you know what?
I guess
if he
that's
doesn't like
up
being
to him
called
whether
Doc,
he wants to
can tell us to our
react to that.
faces.
I will say, we're pulling back from the characters for just a moment. If you notice, his name on his token changed. Because everyone refused to call him by the name that he actually had displayed. The system thought that it was supposed to be something different.
That's hilarious.
And I actually was contacted by Raven for it. It's like, well, what about? I was like, well, actually, it's because he's like, oh. So if they start calling me the right thing, would it change back? Yeah.
I mean, I could just call him Termy. I mean, I'm personally just used to like shortening people's names like as much as possible, because that's just the type of person I am.
Okay, Stone.
Okay, it's fine. I can take it.
Don't tell Seamus that. Seamus is going to start calling you BS from now on.
Oh man.
So, do you have a plan of action? What is next? I have been, shall we say, getting back into the routine of work again, to get my head back into some sort of order after what happened down below.
So I think that we were gonna try to dig some more on how to help FaZe. I don't really think we're quite ready to take on Metal Hulk. I don't think we're nowhere near really that. The agent helps a lot for the turret, for sure. But yeah, I don't think we're quite ready to go that route. I think we have probably a few days work to do before we're really ready. Yeah, I think we should try to see what we can do to help FaZe.
You said you have a contact who is being held at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know whereabouts that might be?
Well, we have a picture. I don't know if it's here, or if it's where our bodies are, or if it's at another site. I assume it's relatively close, but we can. It's definitely inside. It's not like we can't see. From what I can tell, we can't see any outdoor light. Like there's no windows. I'm pretty sure that the only light source is like a lamp on the inside of the room.
And Sheamus, you think it is worthwhile trying to rescue this contact of yours?
I think that he could be of some help, though I don't particularly want to get our hands dirty with this just yet. But if we have to in order to progress our other goals, then maybe we do have to.
Do you know how long he has been indisposed in this way, man?
It's only been a few days since we met with him the first time, right? Like maybe 5 or 6 at the max.
Yeah, it's not been very many.
Yeah, so like Seamus would say that it's been maybe 5 or 6 days or so since we met the first time. So potentially at a max 5 or 6 days. In my mind, putting together what we know, I think it's been significantly less than that he's been taken. I think that if he had been gone that long, we probably would have been looked at a lot sooner. That's why our friend FaZe has been creeping around and hiding in our vents.
Shadow, FaZe is the one that's missing. Shadow is the one that's been shooting in the vents.
Shadow's the other one.
Yeah.
Shadow's the Shadows.
Shadow's the one who's, been creeping about trying to figure out who's responsible for FaZe missing.
Do you think that if they are holding this man, that they might be doing worse than they are doing to us? Perhaps torture?
Oh, absolutely.
Or some other... Okay. It is probably advantageous to not wait too long in that case. Perhaps he will break, but perhaps they just kill him if he does not. And it is only a matter of time till one of those two things happens, man.
So it's go ahead.
We did leave a note for Shadow in the vent, I think, letting him know what we found out and stuff, right? But I don't think that we actually agreed, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think we actually agreed to break FaZe out.
You didn't say you would yet, but you agreed that it's conducive to find where he's at and seek for that to be done.
Well, perhaps on our next shift or at the end of our next shift, we can see if we can gain any clues as to his whereabouts and make some decisions about what's his next, depending what we find.
I think we also have to wait to find out exactly what Shadow is going to do or what they advise us to do. As I said, I don't particularly want to get involved in this early on. We're not ready to make our escape yet, and this might push that. This might start closing our window of when we can.
But you said that they are beginning to seal some of the exits and make moves like that, and the longer that we wait, the less likely we are going to be able to have somewhere to escape to.
Oh, no, I totally agree. I'm just saying that this might accelerate that a bit more if they don't catch us and either dispatch us or wipe our memories again.
Yeah, that'd be
just
bad.
Depending on where he's at, we may not have the equipment to do it just yet.
I mean, wouldn't it be great to just wipe your memories and just start over? You wake up.
Sure.
You were just captured.
Fantastic. Yeah, so, Zid nods and he says, are there any other priorities that you see, either of you as, or Doc as well, that might be considerations going forward?
I mean, I think that we still kind of need to figure out a way to kind of climb the rank ladder. We're not where we need to be from that standpoint. But I mean, the only way to do that is just to keep taking jobs and making ourselves indispensable.
It did not please me the way that we were spoken to last time, though. That perhaps, despite the fact that we did things a certain way, that we just managed to barely scrape through to this area of getting promoted. It seems to me that the way forward into that might be monitored a little bit more closely than we originally hoped.
Fair. I understand.
No, that is a good point. One of the things you guys need to find is where your other bodies are if you want to actually acquire them, and how to get in there. Like you said, going in the front door may not be the best choice, but you guys haven't really investigated that path at all. So you guys do have, like 4 or 5 different paths to pursue right now.
Have you been down any corridors that are orange as opposed to what we had access to before?
The only corridors that I've been down are ones that have doors that are supposed to be sealed off. I just haven't. They're coming up in like the next few days, maybe less than a week, and after that we won't have access to those areas anymore.
I think it might be advantageous then, as we go forward into our places of work, that we start to mentally map out where all of these corridors are and what colors they are, and see how they all connect to one another, and perhaps be able to make some stretches of imagination, man, as to what might be behind those areas that are more restricted.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely do that. It's nice to know what's in these areas, so let's get to it.
All right. You guys are going to work on getting a map. I'll try to see if I can pull one together for you. Then?
Sorry.
It's fine.
In the end, like, if our characters know, then we can potentially jump to what might be in those areas rather than having to look at something physical.
No, absolutely, and it's good, and that's part of why I'm saying like it would make sense for me to get a map pulled together then, since you guys are actually working on getting it mapped now. Because I hadn't made one of the complex area that you guys are in because no one's really bothered. It's you just have kind of followed your navigation where you're supposed to go, not really mapped anything out.
Right, but I think we're feeling a little bit more comfortable with our position as oranges now, and we know that we've made some inroads as to how we might progress, and I think we might just feel like, okay, we're now at a stage where we have some real opportunities here. Sure, there's still barriers, there's still things in our way, but knowing these bits of information in regard to navigation has kind of become extremely important.
Yep. No, you're right. I will start undertaking that as I can. Apparently, I know what I'm doing tomorrow afternoon if I at all can. And for the next probably a couple weeks. It'll probably take a while, but I will have it ready as soon as I can.
That's fine. You take the time that you need, and we will follow other leads while we await that.
Yeah. It'll take you guys a while to map it all out anyways. Unless you, you know, get lucky and just download the full schematic, which is going to be highly guarded. So if you, don't excel exceptionally, then you'll get flagged big time.
Yeah, Zid knows what being flagged is, and he's probably going to be a little bit more careful than he could. Especially since he tried some tagging while he was here, and he promptly got slapped in the face and told, "Get away from my tech."
And now that you have a host, I'm sure it wouldn't get even worse if they found out that you have you're hosting someone.
My signature is probably different. Can I actually look at my know what my code might look like and know if the tags change, since I do have something else inside me at the moment?
Your name hasn't, but you can communicate with her whenever, because you did find out that her download is actually to your actual brain, not this host body, but it went back through the connection to your actual original body, your host body that actually has cyberware.
I would ask her, is she able to open my eyes?
Your eyes have been open this whole time.
Ooh. He says, "How is that possible?"
How is it not? You're not perceiving through them, but they're there.
Am I in some sort of liquid?
Affirmative. So for those of you who, to help you with an image, right? Think Star Wars Bacta tank. Right? It's a tank filled with liquid, but has more things than the Bacta tank, because they actually have, cables attached for the signal to go out and stuff, but it's essentially you're in a tank like that.
Can you perceive through my open eyes?
Affirmative.
I would be very interested what you can see.
There's many chambers here, all occupied with individuals. There's a number of computer devices in the area as well, though there's no current moving individuals, so the light is low, making it somewhat difficult to perceive.
Might you be willing to keep a monitor on what it is that you see, and if somebody, a staff member with a particular color, comes through, that you let us know what that is, so that we might know what level of restriction that area is?
Affirmative.
I would say this much in code to the others, as this brings a whole lot of hope to Zid that he did not have.
She's not supposed to be there. She is not quite within the limitations that they placed on the system.
he says, specifically probably to Seamus, he says, I know that you have misgivings about what might have happened to myself, and I understand, but if we can have a better idea about what is happening out there, and more information about how we might get there to get our bodies back, I would sell my soul for this man.
To be fair, don't take this the wrong way. I would sell your soul too.
Fair enough, man. Cool. Thank you. This is good. I'm guessing that our workday is just about to properly begin.
Yeah. You guys were just having a chat before you guys headed off.
Oh.
You know,
Yummy
eating
kibble.
your delicious kibble. Basically, bag of dog food. Yum.
Nice unflavored kibble.
Well, they gave you flavored this morning. You're one rank up, so you can get basic flavors.
Yummy chicken kibble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got chicken.
At least it's not rat.
I got pea and ham, man. Oh, I have never liked pea and ham.
So yeah, any basic.
Did you get shepherd's pie? Shepherd's pie kibble.
Oh, for some mashed potato, man. Oh.
Mine still tastes like dog food.
You made the wrong person upset, so.
No, it says chicken on the package. It does not taste like chicken.
That just makes it worse. Knowing it is supposed to be chicken, but it does not taste like it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like the seafood gumbo I saw in college that had a chicken spine in it.
I almost spit my food out, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys can basically any morning you can select some random
Really quick.
kibble
sorry,
flavor that's not delectable.
Is Zid's thing on, or or is it perma on now?
It's on right now because he needs to head to work.
All the Cyberdeck stuff. Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, my bad.
After his work shift, it's probably on since he has
turns off
advantage
and
on
we
getting
can-
it on.
Okay. Let's get through our workday. I would very much like to shoot someone.
All right. So you guys progress through your workday. Is there anything particular you'd want to do during the workday, or you just want to skip it?
I think that something helpful for. I just want to see if there's a way that I can pick out the job that I need to do in order to get the information that I need.
What information exactly are you going for? I want to make sure I know what you're going for.
So I'm definitely still interested to know if there's more information out there about where our bodies are. If we're gonna close off an area within the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 days that would close off that access, I'd like to know so that we can prioritize that area for after hours recreational exploration.
Okay. And you're talking about the area you first went, right?
Yeah.
If you guys get a day off, something you might want to consider is the old place you went down and you spoke to the mind and picked up your guest wasn't fully explored.
Okay.
So you could
Like that?
potentially try to get some additional stuff down there.
That's right. That like because I remember that we went into like one corner, and then like there was that entire other side that we didn't touch, like that vault.
There's quite a few things that were not touched. Now, if you go down there during your day shift, of course, it's going to draw a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And you don't have a mission to go down there, so you'd have to be cautious with it. But it is something you could try to leverage to be done at some point by yourselves or others.
So, what would we need to do to get that day off?
It's a good question.
Is there a way to? I mean, would bureaucracy help
take a
with
mission
that?
and get shut up real good? You know that part works. Other than that, you got to figure it out. Bureaucracy might be something you could try to roll to see if you could figure out something. There's a number of potential ways of navigating it.
They'd probably just let us call in sick. I'm sure they wouldn't mind.
I'm sure they wouldn't require you to go with Doc to get checked out and verify you're actually ill. And possibly just, incinerate you to make sure this plague doesn't spread.
Indeed. I think I'd like to know whenever I'm going to close off that area.
Okay. If you want to know when that door's being closed, deduction would be probably figuring out about how long till that door closes. Okay. Kind of figuring out what the current pace looks like for work completion to know, estimate about how long you have for till that area is sealed.
Okay. Wonderful.
You estimate you have between 5 and 7 days for it to be closed.
Okay, it's not terrible. I'm not rushing to. Now I'm not rushing hard to figure that out. So I think that while I'm doing my workday, I do like say during my lunch break or whatever, I go and I ask to see if I can see not necessarily the overseer, but like whoever gives out like the big jobs, to see if I can get us another job in that area.
You would know because they basically showed you it during day one orientation, right? That it's an automated system. You log in and you access and you get the task. That's just on the top of the queue, and that's what you do. So
no. Like not the close-ups, not those. Like the ones for my job, but I mean like the ones like the group of us go out and do the major jobs. Sorry.
You're saying the bigger missions.
Yeah.
The troubleshooting missions. They assign those via the overseer's choice. You have a feeling you probably don't want to engage with him more than you have to, but you're welcome to try if you so wish.
Let's give bureaucracy a roll and see if we can get us an audience. Let's see. I want this to succeed.
You can always crit. We'll see what happens.
I'm actually gonna add luck. Let's see. Let's put 2 luck in here. 19.
Well, you didn't do so bad that you get yourself in trouble, but you are strongly informed that special assignments are awarded based on a merit system.
mean,
Heard the overseers dictate.
I mean, let's see. Fix the issue with the mine. Fix the issue with the rats. Fix the issue with the lack of another AI. Fix this issue. Like, we fixed 5 issues in one trip.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get the feeling that the term merit may not be what you're thinking.
All right, so they just don't know what merit means. I get it. It's fine. Awesome.
Or they have an alternate definition.
Alternate definition, indeed. Whatever. You people don't know what you're doing.
Hey, don't be unhappy. We're all happy and grateful to be here at this company. This is a great company to work for. We're all happy.
Seamus, I just want to help, okay? I'm putting myself out there. I'm taking initiative. I just want to help.
Zid. If you would hear Blackstone talking about this actually would trigger a memory in yours that one of the systems you flagged was a system called Merit.
When you say I flagged it.
You remember when you said you flagged a few of the different programs that you saw?
Hmm?
Yeah, one of them was actually called Merit. You know, and you were told to keep your grubby paws off his stuff. Yeah, that. One of those systems was actually called Merit.
He says, as we're heading off to work, he says, there is I don't like how much we have got into trouble, but I do have to say that in my previous life, the life that I hope that I can get back to sooner rather than later, I got into subterfuge and trickery. It is part of being a disciple of Anansi. We like to manipulate things, man. And I happen to notice that this merit that you speak of, this is something that I might be able to manipulate creatively.
Manipulate away.
I'll have to be careful because they are definitely watching. I would like to ask a game question because I don't remember.
Sure.
System question. Is the check to get out of the system undetected still a net action, or is that a different skill that we're testing?
You're saying to get out. What do you mean?
To get out undetected. If I go into net space.
Yes.
And I'm.
Oh, you're talking about when you're done and you want to get out and not be found.
When I want to get out, yes, correct.
That is actually a cloak, and that is a interface skill.
It's an interface skill. All right. I've spent a bunch of IP, so I definitely do not have IP to spend on getting my interface even higher. But
you should check. Cyberpunk. Net running. Here we go. Cloak. Cloak is interface plus D10, which of course is always a D10, versus the net runner's Pathfinder roll. So when they come in, they would roll a Pathfinder roll, which is their interface plus D10.
And is there a way to mess with someone else's Pathfinder roll?
Virus.
Can I spend any luck to help boost it?
Not in this case, because this is all within the system.
And the virus is still a check in this in
Virus is a little bit more complicated. So
right, because I have to actually spend time to write it.
Right. So GM assigns a number of terms and DV value to the strength of the Netrunner's virus actions.
Yeah.
And depending on the required net actions, you plant a virus that persists after you jack out.
Alright.
So depending on what you do depends on what it is.
Yeah.
So that is one of those not gimmicks, but more open-ended things that you get to harness and do as you wish and essentially create it. So if you want to do something subtle, it's fairly quick. If you want to do something larger, then it takes more.
Okay. Well, just as a by the by, I'm probably 3 to 5 sessions away from being able to get higher again than what I am now. Maybe even more, depending on how
Oh,
much
you already
IP
did
we
spend
can
all
spend.
yours. Okay, you're at 80.
But I've
now.
got, yeah. So because like we've been gaining IP, I had some at the start of the session, so I've just been like, I figure I want to do things in a way that reflects what's happened in the story and what makes sense. So I increased my perception, I increased my athletics, because I feel like, with all of his working out and stuff,
Right.
that makes a lot of sense. And maybe it's good and maybe it's bad for later on, I don't know, but I'm not trying to metagame it.
Oh, I
At the
like that
same
you're doing
time,
that.
I want to obviously progress occasionally in things that are going to be useful in the thing and my key role. I'm already at 5, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to probably be 5 or 6 sessions before I can go up to 6.
You guys had made, how much was it already?
We were
You've made
around
920 IP so far.
Yeah, something like that.
And you'll make about that much again before you leave here, probably.
Okay. I think my answer to your original question that you opened this section with, which was, what do you intend on doing anything with your workday, or do you want to skip it? My answer to that question is Zid wants to start to manipulate part of the code or leave some code to start a framework, to start building so that it blends in with everything, but he can tie all of that together later on and pull it all together into something more nefarious later on. So he wants to start with something that he can later weave into something else. Is that possible?
Yes.
This sounds a lot like, you remember, you guys remember Swordfish? The movie Swordfish? So, like, Hugh Jackman's character, like, writes this big worm code, and it, like, he has it, like, set up in multiple places, and eventually it all, like, wraps together.
That's the kind of thing that I think that Sid would try at this point. He doesn't want to get into trouble again, and he wants to start to work on this. So he would start by layering in something that he can tag for later on.
How much do you know about programming?
Enough.
Okay, so you know what like a function is, right?
Yes.
So basically how I see it is you make a list of different functions that are currently vestigial that you're slipping in, and then later can call one that calls them to do something more nefarious, basically.
Right.
So
I would like to create a function, but I would also like to create a call to the function that calls something that is part of the thing that I'm working on for the company, so that it looks like it's legit, but I can call on it for something else later on.
Right, and that's what I was saying. Like in the function, like you add a portion or you add a special additional function that part of it isn't used.
Yeah.
Right? So
That's
it may
what I
be
would
like
like.
parts of it are used, but that one part isn't used, except in this specific case, so that way it lays dormant and unutilized, unfound, basically an intentional bug.
Yeah. Perfect.
And you're
That's
making
what
a
I'd like
list.
to do.
So let's have you roll your interface check on that. This would be more, I think, actually a cloak than a virus right now. And basically what it will do is later on, you'll get a boost to your virus speed on this network if you do create virus stuff, because you have these functions kind of like hidden in place.
That's a 15 on the interface.
That's actually good for interface. So, nice. Interface and some other roll abilities are a lot lower because you don't get your ability scores added to some of the roll abilities.
I added some luck in there. It
Yeah.
would have been a 13, but I just wanted to...
Oh no,
I think this is really important to Zip.
Yeah, that was a good choice. So yeah, no, that's 15's good. So that's enough that it would require a decent bit of skill to track it down. So even if they had max interface, which is a 10, they still would have to roll a 5 to get it. And that's why I'm saying that's fairly good.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's all the extra that Zid would want to do in his workday, and he just spends the rest of the day doing his normal work, and maybe even calling this function a couple of times into his normal work, so that it looks like he's using it for the right reasons, and that's all I want.
Yeah, makes sense. And so that's kind of why I'm using that as kind of like a base. Now we're basically saying that every day you're kind of adding little bits here and there. Time goes on.
What about for Seamus? What is Seamus doing with his day?
Indeed. Seamus.
I would very much like to procure. I think we got 2. Did we get 2 weapons last time, or just the 1?
I believe you got 2 pistols last time.
So I would like to try to procure, at least see if I can get a, what were they called? The bolt
caster?
throwers,
Energy casters.
The bolt casters, yes,
Yep.
energy casters. Like to see if we could procure one of those, because Blackstone already has the 1 weapon, so we don't need another one, right? I mean, unless he wants to be greedy and get another weapon. But
technically, Blackstone has a shoulder arm assault rifle.
And I have my AR.
Valerian.
I don't need anything else.
Yeah.
You have your Mandalorian too, so that's extra pair of hands anyways, so. Yeah, I think that probably an energy caster is going to be have to be the haul for the day for Seamus. I don't think he would try for anything on top of that. I think he would probably know that that's going to be a big enough deal anyways.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
So that's my thing.
See if you're able to somehow move one off.
Shall I conceal it? Is that what we're doing?
Sure. I could see you using your roll ability haggle. I could see you using.
I haven't used my roll
conceal
ability
reveal.
yet.
Yeah, that sounds good. I like the idea of using that.
How does the modifiers work for this before I do that? Because I would like to know, because I haven't used a roll ability yet.
Well, you click
It's
it and it pops up. And
plus ability rank plus this trading skill. Is that what I'm reading?
apparently, you get your trading skill.
So I have a base of 14 already.
That's what it looks like.
God dang.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, my conceal reveal is 13 anyways, but yeah, I mean, the only downside to this is that I can't use luck, but of course I
Who needs luck
3.
when you have a base of 14?
Still.
Yeah, that's not a bad option. I like that option. It makes sense.
I only rolled a 3, so I got a 17, but still.
Yeah. Still, a 17 would be a consideration for professional level success. So, everyday tasks are rated at a DV 13. Difficult tasks would be a DV 15. Professional is a DV 17. So you still met that basically like professional level requesting. So yeah. You are able to acquire one, and I will add that to your inventory, and you can basically mark it as in your stash.
Nice. Well done.
That's Blackstone's job to pick it up at the drop and take it away.
Alright. Now, eventually you may want to get some other items or maybe more ammo. But yes, you are making progress.
Oh yeah. Just Seamus knows not to be too greedy just yet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you're too greedy, you are definitely going to draw attention to yourself, and that's not really something you necessarily want to do.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna take this whole cart of equipment and take it down to the other end of the complex real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. But yeah, that worked out. So you guys meet up after work. And you're able to discuss your plans and have a little bit of time during the day for your personal tasks.
How was your day at work, Sid?
I will not properly know for about 24 hours, but from what I gauge, I think I did an okay job to start making inroads to make it easier later on. What about yourself?
That's really good to hear. So I managed to figure out that that place that, remember that place that we went to that was way down where we talked to the dude and you picked up your traveler. We missed like quite a good chunk of what was down there. We have about a week, maybe a little less.
Oh, no. That one is longer than that. The first place you went.
You
have
the first one.
Yeah, you mentioned you wanted to go down the
Okay.
first mission you did.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that place that I was talking about is farther down. It's got a few, maybe a week or two, or 2 or 3 weeks actually. The place that is sooner is the original place that we met Nadix. I'd like to maybe go back down there, and if we get a day off here soon, I'd like to revisit that area.
We could always take a job and get shot up, and I'm sure they'd give us some time off.
Let's do it. I'm just itching. I need to get back into she's thirsty. Let's go.
Seamus just like sits there, just staring at you, like this smile slowly spreading across his face. Oh, so now you want a target? Ah, I see. Seems Doc's rubbing off on you.
I do.
Soon he'll be throwing weights at people and sticking himself trying to find a pocket within his own flesh. You never know.
We know that there's weights down there. Let's just go and I can get started now.
Actually, you don't, because you don't remember that.
Yeah.
My my day at work was pretty productive, at least as long as Blackstone took care of his side of things while he was out today.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Pretty well.
Yeah, it's already taken care of. It's already where it needs to be.
One step closer. Now, what are we doing about trying to get those days off?
Yeah, I mean, so I got an audience, and I was told that while we are doing what we're asked, we're not doing enough. So we have to do other things apparently in order to merit getting better jobs. So,
and this would be
our
where
friend Sid here is trying to drum up said merit.
This would be where that knowledge of the other program that Zid had found comes up, where he's like, oh yeah, no, I saw a merit program that was running.
Right, so Zid's taken care of that. I am assuming that we haven't heard anything from our friend in the vents about their next steps.
So I haven't been back to the room, so I didn't get to check the vent.
Just making sure, he didn't trap anyone in another random place or anything. I mean, I realize it's only happening to me, but you never know. He could be branching out.
Well, you guys are doing that. Zid, go ahead and give me a library search check.
He gets to do all the library searching.
Are you jealous? You'll get to
It's
later.
fine, I don't care. Yeah.
Only a 13.
Rookie.
Yeah, so you remember a number of different apps that you had flagged. There was Merit, there was Modify, there was Purge, there was R&R. There was a few of these different rank, some things like that. So there's some programs, some of them you think you know what they do, some of them you aren't sure. But a lot of them took in an ID, so basically a person, and then did something with it and returned results. So you can attempt to try to find or manipulate one of those specific things if there's something specific you want to do. But depending on it, it may or may not be higher risk.
Yeah.
Given that you know someone is watching that code more closely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, keep going.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with that information at the moment.
For now, it was pertinent to what was being talked about, so I figured now would be the time, and then let you guys decide what you want to do.
I'm taking note of it, and then if it comes up, we'll do something. Yep. Cool. So we've got a little bit of time before everything shuts down and we have to be in our rooms. So Zid would be taking a stroll, and he would be taking a sector, and he would be starting to map that out in his head.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a specific sector. He just chooses a sector, and he spends some time doing that. He'll greet anybody that he sees that looks like they might be heading to have a drink or whatever. He'll say yo, but other than that, he's pretty quiet. He doesn't want to be too obvious about it, so he'll just wander around. He'll sit for a while. He'll look at people passing by. He'll engage with someone that sits down and talk about their day. He'll just do those things and try and blend in while making this mental map of the sector.
Let's use tracking or wilderness survival for that. I can see either one of those kind of being utilized for basically course plotting mapping, since I don't have a cartography skill.
$15?
Doable. So you're making progress on your map.
Tracking's actually something that I put in. I figured Zid would have some of it since he's lived in the zone for a while, and tracking resources and people that might have resources was probably important to him, and to his family.
Yeah, good choice. So yeah, you're definitely making progress on your map. Does Blackstone or Seamus want to do anything with their evening?
I think that I'll do the same thing. I'll just take a stroll.
Okay.
Just to clear my head after the events of the day.
Okay, so you're just strolling, not mapping?
No, I'm gonna map.
Okay, then go ahead and make a roll.
Both of my stuff is crap. Tracking is a 7. Wilderness survival is a 7. Does perception help?
That's just what you see. You're more trying to consolidate what's seen into a usable form.
Okay. What about education?
How would you use education for that?
Maybe I studied map making in school.
Don't know many schools that teach map making unless it's an actual cartographer school.
Okay, that's fine. I'll roll my shitty tracking skill then. Fine.
You can't be good at everything.
It's fine.
Fine.
I do like that you're trying to go for other skills. I'm okay with that.
No, it's fine.
If I can't think of an easy way that one works, I tell you, and then you can come up with some way, or you can just roll decent. That works too. There you go. 16, so you make some good progress.
3 points of luck. It's fine. I'll get it back next time.
All right. Seamus? two of your
I'll
compatriots
do the
are out
same. I mean,
wandering the halls, mapping.
yeah, Seamus would probably do the same thing. I figure that's kind of. I just imagine kind of Zid suggesting that and suggesting that might be the best way for us to find, where our contact is being held. So Zid would probably do the same thing.
Sure, go for it. E14. So we have a 14, 15, and 16 were the rules for the tracking tonight. Not bad.
It's nice and bizarre.
Right? What are you all doing? It's within one of each other. You're cheating. No.
Totally cheating.
Right.
I should have used 3 luck like Azrael did. I only used 2.
It would have been 15, 16, 17. Oh no, no. So
15, 15, 16. But yeah. I don't know, it's all cool. So yeah, no, you guys have definitely started making some good headway on getting a map of the area.
Excellent.
So you're making progress on that, which is excellent. Next morning comes and you get your particular assorted flavors of kibble to enjoy for your morning routine.
Got Hungarian sausage this morning. Great for breakfast.
Yummy. I'm gonna take, let's see, traditional English breakfast. Haven't had one in a while. Just blood sausage.
Smells like Doc got tuna.
Ooh, tuna.
Seamus just plays kibble roulette and just like closes his eyes and hits a button because to him they all taste the same. To Seamus, he totally believes that the 3 of you are just saying that it tastes like whatever you're getting, and it really doesn't taste that way because it just tastes the same to him.
Yeah.
Roll a d10. Do /red d10, because then it will actually explode if it explodes. A 7. Somehow, you hit the right combination, and you get a egg and toast kibble.
Wow.
Lucky bastard.
What do you mean, lucky?
Is that not what you wanted? Did you not want eggs and toast?
I would love it if it tasted like it. It tastes like dog food. It still says egg and toast on the bowl, but
James, I think at this point that there's something wrong with the connection between your body and your your meat bag. I think there must be something going on.
he like picks up a piece of his kibble and holds it out to you, and he's like, "What did you get? Let me see yours."
I got a nice traditional English breakfast. Here, let me try some of yours.
He just like reaches over and grabs like a couple of pieces of yours and throws them in his mouth. Oh, yes, it's delicious. It tastes just like the breakfast I used to feed my English bulldogs.
And you know what? I take a couple of pieces of his and I pop it in my mouth and like, you know what? This tastes exactly like eggs and toast. Exactly. So I think you got
Guys,
something wrong with
I don't know
the
what
taste
you're on, Blackstone. I am not on either extreme of you two. You seem Blackstone to be able to tell exactly what this is, and Seamus, you everything is just dog food to you. for me,
I think everything's just tastes like
it's
dog
just
shit.
a little flavored to maybe the direction of what it is meant to be, and sometimes it is even worse, and sometimes it is slightly better, but I do not taste exactly the same.
But you know what? I want to know the exact combination of chemicals that they have to figure out to get the stuff to taste like this.
I don't want to know that at all, man.
Does Blackstone
Never,
actually want to know?
never.
Not right.
Does Blackstone
No.
actually want to know?
No, I don't. Okay.
I was gonna say that actually is something that Doc could potentially.
No.
Well, here, Doc, I'll toss you a piece. Have at it. Like, I'll roll for.
You don't
You'll
want to
just
know
do
what they
this in
put in
private.
this.
Y'all do this in private. Look, I already have to eat
La 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 la
this
la la.
stuff.
Does it resist torture drugs?
Oh no. For him, it would be probably like pharmaceutical.
Okay. Yeah.
I am
So,
making
medtech.
as much noise and blocking my ears as much as possible. It does not want to hear this.
Seamus has wolfed down his dog food and is headed for the door. He's going to work early.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, walking out. Absolutely.
Is it just medtech, or is it because
Yeah.
like it doesn't give me? So I don't like I can't click on crash system operational pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, it's medtech. It's the one above it. So it's medtech
Okay.
is what you actually click.
All right.
Oh boy. Oh boy. There's the first one.
So that's actually.
At least it was on this.
Hold
I don't
on.
think you need to roll for Doc anymore.
Hold on. It's not a failure in the sense of what you're thinking. It's a failure in the sense of what it does to you. He starts listing, like, very scientific, all these chemicals. And very technical chemicals and everything. And it's just making you, like, not interested. Because, like, some of the chemicals you've heard were, like, used for cleaning. Some of the chemicals mentioned were used for, like, you know, degreasing machines or, you know, just like, yeah, so he's listing all these chemicals.
Is formaldehyde one of them?
Probably.
In the English breakfast it is, in the others it's not.
Great.
It's part of how they got
Awesome.
that proper blood
Eating
sausage
embalming
flavor.
fluid. Sweet.
Yeah.
I excuse myself and I go to the bathroom and kindly force it back up.
Oh man.
Seamus, you get into work and you get this request that janitorial services need some cleaning supplies delivered to a bathroom not too far from your room.
We tried to tell him. And Seamus is probably gonna, like... okay, so would Seamus have to deliver them or just, like, submit the forms to, like... Not the request forms, but, like, submit the forms to have them sent over?
It was expedited, which means they want you to actually bring them there, just to make sure it happens quicker, because apparently there's some biological contaminant that needs to be cleaned up.
So
they want
Seamus
white glove service.
Seamus is going to try to procure the strongest cleaners that he can get, and take them as quickly as he can there, and just get out of there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, luckily you don't have to do the cleaning because you're not janitorial services.
It's not the janitorial service.
You're delivering the goods they need to do their job.
You know what? You're welcome. Janitors, you're welcome.
Yeah, so do
I'm the reason why you're here today. You're welcome.
Do either, I could see maybe a roll ability for you, or just a bureaucracy of just like how quickly that happens. Because if you do it quick enough, you might go ahead and see someone exiting.
Mirror him.
Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, so you get there after, and you see like the janitorial person out front with like a mask on, and he's like just wide-eyed, like someone did something in there that you don't want to be part of.
Seamus like leaves the cart or leaves the box or whatever these chemicals are contained in, like at an acceptable distance to where it's like appropriate and not.
Well, the guy has the door shut and taped, so no one can go in there.
But still, Seamus is like the borderline.
Yeah.
Like
the guy.
Here's the line of being pissed off, and Seamus is like putting him here, like close enough to the guy where he's not going to be mad about it.
Well, actually,
but like if Seamus had put it any farther away,
you see that and start slowing down and try to figure out. The guy runs up to you, like gets down on a knee, look at the chemicals you brought. Oh, good. You brought the good stuff. Grabs the cart and heads off.
Again, you are welcome.
It's all Blackstone making your life easy. So, any other particular events you want to do during your day other than apparently finding out the disturbing ingredients in kibble and destroying a bathroom? You know, the closest bathroom to your living quarters.
I'm worried about how long it's going to be closed.
Well, I mean, considering the level of the grade of chemical that you provided, I would hope that it wouldn't be closed for very long.
Depends, because then the chemicals have to
Dissipate.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see. I'll roll for it in a bit.
Every restroom has a fan that you can turn on, and it just pulls the fumes out. So anyway, I'm
just gonna say this: we're underground, so if that restroom has fans that pulls fumes out, it's getting put somewhere else, and the corpos are not putting it somewhere where they have to deal with it. So either way, we're gonna have to, like, that sounds like something they would specifically design and be like, we're gonna give this to the working people. Like, we're gonna see what this does to the meat sacks. Let's send it over there. Like, you turn all I imagine is like you turn the fan on in that bathroom and it's just like our bathroom vent goes into someone else's room and there's someone sick in that room and it's just putting all the smell in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's scientists like monitoring, going, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's what that does to them. You know, that's how this affects our things we created."
You know, the scary thing is, it's closer to the truth than you think.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
I am going to attempt to create an efficiency function. That my goal here is to tie a few errant functions together, or something that is taking a little bit longer than it might need to together in this function, and lay in some extra code. As I have started that yesterday, I'm going to continue that today. But today, rather than making a new function, rather than making a completely new function, I want to use functions that are already there, but try to make them more efficient. So here is my roll.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
19
we got.
Now
that's on a roll ability.
Yeah. Which, unlike Seamus's roll ability, your roll ability doesn't give you
right, it's no stat.
Bonuses on top. Right. So that's really good. That is just shy of heroic tier work that you pulled off there.
Yeah. So somehow Zid has pulled together a couple of functions that people have been using for like over 12 months, right?
You find a problem in the code, though. when you're doing this.
Okay.
Like you do a great job, like stellar job. You find that someone had started working on code to assist in the ranking function that bumps someone by 1 rank and basically can be assigned to people, but the function was never fully introduced. And you know that if you turn it on, you can give it a list and it would bump those in that list by 1 rank.
Does it look like a secure line of code?
No, it's done well. It's someone else. It's not the one that you're told, don't touch my stuff. It looks different to that style. And you don't have to put your own style and work to it. Because this is right next to some code you're working in. Just one little minor, and then pointing it to a list, and it just bumps that list by 1.
I think he would do it, and I think he points to a list that is everybody who has done a significant task, a problem-solving task in the last fortnight or...
I was gonna say 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
Because we don't want it to just be us, because that would be just
exactly. I want it to have more people. So maybe I tag a month. Like we've been only here 2 weeks?
It's that long.
2 weeks.
Yeah, not that long.
So I would probably
10 days?
make this a month. I would make this a month.
Okay.
So that anybody who had done a significant task like that, a problem-solving task that succeeded. I don't know if I can put a if success tag on it.
Oh yeah, that's actually definitely part of the thing. Like you can actually see number of successful missions. Like now that you're looking at it, you can see number of missions undergone, number of successful missions. Mission rating, like basically it's an actual rating of difficulty, success, and other features like that.
Before I submit, can I do a quick /Q and see how many people are in that list, please?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good question, because the reason why I ask is if there's say 15 people in that list, and I want to know are the other 11 people gonna wake up and be like, what the fuck? Did they just forget about me? Are they gonna ask questions?
You notice something odd. Not all the names are listed as local. But there's 108 names that you find listed.
Ooh, that's a lot. Okay.
That's a big number.
It is. Okay, not local. Some of them are not local. Okay. I need to write notes for this. On people who recently completed a troubleshooting mission successfully. You said 108?
Yes.
108 hits. Some not local.
Correct. Which you're not totally certain what that means.
Can I do a... Can I do a spectrum analysis real quick on their current ranks, their current color?
Yeah.
So as the pie chart comes up with who's which color,
it actually gives you not so much a pie chart. It gives you the color abbreviation and a number of how many are under that category.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you find a assortment of all of them from red all the way up through would it be up through blue?
Blue.
Yeah. Everywhere from red to blue, you see rankings, a number listed. Fewer as it goes up.
I would like to submit an if function into this, and it will be secondary successful mission. Tag.
So you want 2 successful missions? Or you're saying that there's a secondary objective on their mission that they succeeded at?
Interesting. Maybe I don't. 108 is a lot of people. This would scare Zed a little bit.
So don't make it a month. Make it, what, 2 weeks? Is that possible?
But there's about a third of them that are listed as non-local.
Yeah, not knowing what that means, it's real interesting to Zed. He's all of a sudden real scared.
So that means 72 in your area could potentially be affected. And that's in the whole complex. You know there's probably a couple thousand people in this complex.
72 of a couple of thousand.
That's minuscule. That's 0.1%.
Zed'll do it.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think he needs. I don't think he wants to tag anything else because it makes it really. It makes it much more specific then, and he could get tracked down by saying that. So I think.
Yep.
I think a coverall of that they've done a mission successfully within the month. And I would put in the code. I am interested, right? What would happen? He does a test run of a slice of code that says if under review, suspend if under review, do our names come up still as that this will be effective, or are we under review? He wants to establish if we would be under review.
Got it. You notice when you're checking that any records that are under review are locked, which means any modification done to them won't take place.
So
anyways,
they're not even included in the 108?
Correct.
Wow.
And you notice that, well, no, they are included in that, but the effect wouldn't take place till after.
Okay,
I
will submit that as part of the code. I will say if under review, suspend until review is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you're realizing you don't have to add that part because it's already that's hard coded in already.
Okay.
That it can't be updated until the review is cleared.
Okay. Then I think Zed just submits it.
Okay.
As it is.
Asriel.
Yep.
Blackstone and Seamus see something, and we'll get to that right after our break. Thank you all for being here. Hang tight. We're going to quickly hit the bio, grab drinks, fill up, and we'll be right back. See you in 10 minutes. I was trying to wrap that scene before we called it. It's okay. It's okay. That's because he got a 19, dude. Right. It could have been different. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna refill my coffee. You guys are doing great. I think I'm gonna have to bump the XP from this session. Welcome back to all you wonderful viewers. Welcome, welcome. And to continue where things left off. Seamus, you're working. And this guy across from you picking up some other stuff. You've never talked with him or anything, but all of a sudden, like, there's just like a flip. So it's kind of startling. But his clothes and his name change. And so his designation is now G instead of Y. Just spontaneously while you're working, just whoop. Blackstone?
Yeah. Ooh.
You're conversing with your colleague who's been a red, assigned to help you. All of a sudden, whoop, his name shifts to O. While you're talking to him.
I blink, like fast blink, like I just saw a ghost. Like,
He's looking at you the same way that you're looking at him.
do you know the meme where the dude's like, yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
He's basically doing the same
Congratulations.
thing to you.
Congratulations.
For what? Congratulations to you. How'd you just get promoted, like, on the fly like that?
Friend, you just did too.
Oh.
I reach my hand out to shake it.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's get our job done. We can celebrate after work.
I do the pat on the back and all that good stuff.
And the chaos of Zed begins.
Oops. You can't think of everything, and I should have said it as an overnight thing, but we can't retcon, and thank you.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I'm really surprised. I'm gonna have to look into this, or maybe I should just be quiet and just accept this. This is a happy accident, you know?
I've seen things go. I would just be happy it happened and celebrate it.
Yeah, let's do it. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Right? Maybe we just great job or something. I don't know.
Absolutely. This week is the week that they just give out rank ups, give out promotions.
I don't know.
You get a promotion. You get a promotion. You get a promotion.
Maybe. Wasn't there some old show that they talked about with something like that?
Yeah. I think it had like some lady was just like talking to the audience or something like that. She was just like,
weird.
You get it. Do I hear, like, can I do perception to see if I hear anyone else like celebrating?
I mean, you don't have to. You just look around a bit and you see a couple here and
see
there.
Like people that are just like,
yeah, it's not
like, all
everywhere.
confused.
Not everywhere,
Sure.
but there's enough of them that there is a little bit of a commotion kind of like throughout the complex.
Oh, okay, cool. And I guess the rest of my workday, like, my spirits are up. I'm very happy. I kind of have an idea that, like, where it came from, but I'm not like unmasking that in like a spirit of jubilation.
You did hear that Seamus had put in a request to have you all bumped. So did contact come through? Don't know, maybe.
You also know that my contact is currently being tortured a few rooms away from us.
That's true too.
So Seamus's reaction to this whole thing is to be more silent than he's probably anybody's seen him, even his coworkers, and just watch this, specifically this guy that he saw first, change, and see if he forgets what he's doing, he forgets where he's at. He's watching for signs of memory loss. Because, like, in Seamus's mind, that's the next step. Like, we've spontaneously been promoted, whether it was meant to happen or not. He's wondering if a memory wipe follows next.
Yes, so you're watching him. Roll a perception check or human perception. Something to deal with. I think human perception probably would be better since you're actually dealing with an individual and how they're feeling and doing. Since you're not conversing with him, I don't see that working. But yeah, human perception I think is a good option.
Mark it up too.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great option. I have such a good score in that.
Not gonna get it. I mean, you're gonna get it all back. Lock it up.
14. Not bad.
I used 3 luck.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
My human perception's a base of 6.
Ouch. That's a really good roll then.
Yeah. So you're watching him do a bit, but about his work and like people mention it to him, he's just like, yeah, I don't know what. So cool. But he keeps trucking along like nothing happened. If you got lower, you would have probably got paranoid that something happened. But you rolled well enough to at least see that he seems to be functioning normal.
See, this is why luck is good.
I think
luck is good.
I think that Seamus is still paranoid about it, but not to the point to where it's like affecting his workday. He's still gonna watch the guy throughout the workday or whatever, but Seamus, to the point where at the end of the workday he's heading back to our room wondering like, am I gonna wake up in the morning and just not remember everything?
Yeah.
Like at some point he still watched this guy, like I said, all day, but at some point like those thoughts flip-flopped. It went from wondering if this was going to randomly happen to wondering if we're going to wake up the next day and with that.
Blackstone?
I have the odd, weird question. Have the rank ups normally happen overnight when people are asleep? And obviously because this happens now, like right away.
One you know of, yes.
Okay. Like
you've only experienced one, so you don't have a lot to go on.
All right.
You haven't exactly dialogued with a lot of people about. So, how'd your rank go?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think of a way to, like, maybe if there was a way for it to be set up to where it was delayed. But no worries, we're ranked up, all good.
But you do know that the guy you're talking to probably hasn't been ranked up since he just went from red to yellow.
Yeah.
Or red to orange.
Mm-hmm.
And
so,
we know at least
can't really ask him.
Green,
right? Was done overnight, right?
Your first one.
At least ours was.
Your first one was at the end of an incineration, so you're not sure if it was overnight or if it was at the end of debrief or during incineration.
To us, it was overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we are now G's or Y's?
Why?
Okay. But somebody that Seamus was looking at is a G now.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
It's almost like people shifted one step in rank. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's a glitch in the system we need to work out.
The whole system's a glitch. One big glitch. I'm keeping this information to myself. Anyway, so we're gonna finish out our work days and head back to the room.
Yeah, it sounds like Seamus is heading straight back to the room after his work day.
Yep, and I'm doing the same thing because I have questions.
Sid, you going out to celebrate your rank, or you head back to the room?
Are any of his co-workers also?
Yeah.
Well, he would see what they wanted to do. He would talk to them and be like, he would say, I still feel kinda new here, man. Is this kind of thing normal? Do we go to celebrate after? What do you want to do? And he would ask.
Yeah, there's one guy that rang there. He's like, not bad for me, but because why not? It's a good thing. You want to come? I see you too.
Sure. I suppose I will come and celebrate with you.
Have some good food. No, do once have good time.
Hopefully it's not a glitch, or if it is, that
Glitch?
we
Why
don't
would
get
be
punished.
Glitch?
I don't. Like, you
That
say you don't not familiar?
No, I just it happens different. I don't exactly pattern.
Oh. Okay. Well,
I have not discerned a pattern yet. So.
okay. He says, yeah. Yeah, let's go drink, man. This is...
We haven't had some good. Let's go get some noodles. Hey.
Yeah, man. I could... Yeah.
I can eat.
Brings you down to found this kiosk in like this little like old, not really used a lot section of the complex. Like you guys went to that cantina before, right? That was a little bit larger and you kind of riled up. This one's kind of like off to the side and isn't used a lot. But he shows you that the food dispenser there can actually give you like actual noodles. Now it does cost some of your, complex credits for it. You can't just always do it. But and noodles, I like noodles.
I barely remember. It is like it seems so long ago, but it really wasn't.
From what I found, place used to be for, I believe it was blew up, but they got different place, so this was just kind of got left aside. I found it. It's cost, but it's good noodles.
Good find, man. I have to tell my friends about this place.
Just don't tell everyone.
Oh, of course.
It's he looks around and there's like 4 tables. I don't want it to get too crowded. You know, I like you. I like a little bit of space.
Sounds good, man.
You can tell this guy's definitely a net runner. Like, it's easier to do your tasks as a net runner if you don't have people breathing down your neck.
Yeah, for sure.
Net runners are loners, aren't they?
They're not all necessarily loners, but they do like a little bit of personal space so they can actually do what they need to do.
So I would like to try and walk this guy back toward his room when he's ready to go, and like talk to him on his way back, and maybe that's a slightly different part of this place, and I can sort of get I'm not fully mapping, but I just want to see where he is in relation to us. And
do you want to try to map it while you go, or not at all?
Look, let's see what the roll says, right?
Sure. It's always a good way to do
sense.
And then we'll jump back over to the paranoid discussion of Seamus and Blackstone. 19.
I'm just rolling so good.
So yeah, you map this whole section out too. And he lives in a very far different section from you.
Alright, awesome. Thank you.
And at the end, he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna head and get some sleep tonight. That's some good noodles. I'll see you tomorrow, friend."
See you tomorrow, man.
There you go. Camera pans back in to the cruise, where we find Seamus and Blackstone. Gentlemen, take it as you have the camera.
So I noticed something very happily peculiar happened earlier today, Seamus, and I'm interested to seeing your face, sir. I'm interested to know your thoughts, even though I believe I can gather them based on what I see.
So, Seamus sees that Blackstone's has changed, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that Seamus knows that his has changed yet, because I think he's been so worried about the memory wipe and watching other people for the memory wipe and wondering if his people have changed or anything like that, I don't think he knows that his have changed.
Okay.
Someone may have said it, but I think maybe it just kind of like went over his head. Not that he didn't understand, almost as if he didn't hear it. It didn't register because he's just been watching everyone else. So I think when Seamus walks in and he's just staring at Blackstone as Blackstone says all this, and he waits for you to finish and then looks at you and he goes, "Oh no, you too, huh?"
Well, I mean, yeah. Like I was at work and I looked at one of my coworkers. He was a red. He swapped to an orange like that.
Does Blackstone know what Seamus is talking about when he's looking at him like he's faintly? And then it's like, two. Would you think it's the rank color shift, or would you think it's something else?
Take that.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I'm gonna look. I'm like, do I have like? I don't remember getting punched in the face. Nobody like really dislikes me that much, right? Am I really that big of an asshole?
I've heard that like mentioned around the facility, but that's not what we're talking about. I mean, Blackstone, a few people have even used douchebag, but I didn't tell you that, okay? No, it looks like you've been promoted. Like, I've seen many other people lately.
Oh.
And like, he sounds pretty jovial when he's saying the other stuff, but when he gets to that point, like, his voice gets real grave.
Oh, I lean in. Are we? We're sitting at the table, right?
Yeah, in your room.
So I put my hand or my arms on the table and I lean in and I'm like, do you think Zed had anything to do with this? Was he like fucking about on in the code again?
I don't know. Zed either wasn't able to do it before or didn't want to mess with it, but someone's changed you all, and the last time this happened,
Oh, I remember you said that you had put in, or somebody had put in for us for a type of promotion, right? Was that you that said something about that?
yes.
Okay, so either that request was granted in addition to many others that were probably in a backlog, or our friend Zed did something.
Well, as you know, I don't know if my request was granted. Our benefactor is a bit tied up at the moment. Um, a bit busy, you might say. But I guess he could have put in the requests before.
So
Well, now, but when we were promoted before, we just woke up, ranked up, and were wiped. But I didn't observe. You obviously haven't lost your memories, and I didn't observe any of the others changed, have lost anything. Also, it happened in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I thought that was really peculiar.
Seems strange
Seamus,
on any level.
At this point, when you're talking, when you held your hand up, you might notice that your own shifted to yellow as well. It's kind of the first time you held it in front of your face.
I think he probably has through his workday, but it just, like, he's been so focused on everything else, it hasn't registered. And he's still nervous about all of this as he's talking to Blackstone, but being in his room, talking to Blackstone, seeing Blackstone's okay, he's calmed down enough to notice. And you'll probably notice Blackstone as he's saying this stuff to you and being, animated with his hands. Like, he stopped looking at you and he's still talking, but he's starting, like, his hands are slowing down. They're kind of almost suspended like this, and his eyes are just looking over at his arm. I haven't noticed anyone else lose memories through the day. His speech pattern is slowed down significantly as well.
Breathe. Take a breath. Take a nice deep breath. I'm seeing his face lose color. Like he's starting to, like, really have issues. So I'm doing the same thing that I did for Zed. I'm just trying to talk him down back from the ledge, so to speak. I have experience with these types of things, so just stay here with me. Just take a few minutes, put your head down, and breathe. Get into a good place. Breathe. See, this is me not being a douchebag. I'm helping. Not being an asshole right now. So just let's come back to me. Just anyway. You do you, and then we'll come back to talking. How you feeling?
I'm feeling like I don't want to lose all of our progress that we've made. I'm feeling like if this is a company sanctioned promotion, that we may wake up tomorrow with no knowledge. Or at least that we may wake up tomorrow with the knowledge they want us to have.
So, I'm in the most comforting voice that I could possibly muster, considering the relationship that Seamus and Blackstone have, in the most calming way. We haven't talked to Zid yet today. We haven't talked to him since he finished his work. Before we go to sleep, to put you in a better place mentally, let's ask him how his day at work went when he gets back. He'll probably be here in a few minutes. So, in the meantime, let's keep a positive outlook, and let's see how the chips fall.
While later, seeing as Zid's been out for dinner.
If you don't mind, I do have a response. Seamus looks at Blackstone and says, "Look, I don't know much about the coding and net running and programs, and look, I get things, okay? Sometimes they're programs, sometimes they have to do with codes and net runners and all of it. But who's to say that even if Sid is the one that triggered this, or who's to say that our friend put in the request and it's finally approved, that the wipe is not attached to it? We don't know that they're separated. We've never had promotion and not had the wipe.
That's a fair point. And unfortunately, we won't know that until we wake up. So I think that we can. So once Sid gets back, we can ask him to confirm, like, hey, we noticed this change. It's a pretty major change. We noticed this change happen. Did you do anything? Depending on it, depending on his answer, we can discuss, and we can. I mean, we're all pretty tired, so I think that we can lay down and see where we are tomorrow. Oh, point of order. We can. If I wonder if we like took notes. Like, is there like a notepad in the place, in the room?
Seamus could probably cure one.
Like, before we go to bed?
Well, you guys have basic one, not a lot.
Yeah.
If you wanted more. Depends on how much you want to take.
I mean, like, I'm just trying to, like, I'm trying to protect against, I guess, quote unquote, memory loss. Do you remember 50 First Dates?
Heard about it.
You remember the,
Yep.
Yeah, so basically, like, the girl has brain damage, and every day is like it's the same day, like, to her. Like, she has no memory of anything. So they have to basically make a videotape of what happened. Anyway, something to protect against that. Not a videotape, but like just some notes that we can take down just in case we lose our memories.
Sure. Decide what you want to put on that. You guys can do that while you wait for Zed.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a big one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, no, I just saw, I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, so I think that Seamus and I will brainstorm, and we'll put down the major events that we've experienced since the previous mind wipe, the only mind wipe that we've had. The major contacts that we've put together, the items that we've procured, the location of the stash, the current status of our jobs, and the major events that we have coming up.
Okay. You guys are talking, writing this stuff down. Eventually, well past dinner, Sid strolls in. Probably, I'm not going to put it in his mouth, but probably fairly happy and content since he had a good meal and good conversation with a fellow netrunner. Probably in a fairly good mood. I'm strolling in.
So he comes in and he sees me, and I'm just sitting there, I have my arms crossed, and I'm looking at him. How was your day? In a very matter-of-fact tone.
He goes, pretty good. one of my workmates. He took me out. We had some noodles. They were pretty good compared to that crap we've been eating for a while. That was really nice. Yeah, spent some time with him, and then yeah, I got some good work done today. And yeah, I managed to combine some code and make things more efficient for the company, and I think that they probably appreciate that. Seems that they appreciate that. One of my workmates said that potentially something has changed, and I saw something has changed for him, and as I look at you, I see that potentially something has changed for you. It's very strange that this would happen.
I do have a quick question. After this morning's conversation about kibble, how is Seamus feeling about hearing about Zid getting to go and find a place that has noodles
As he just
instead
comes
of
back to
kibble?
work.
So Seamus, like, Zid probably sees a little bit of the worry and stress on Seamus' face, but Blackstone knows, like, with the conversation, what Zid's been, or what Seamus been thinking, what he's gone through, and all this. And as Zid, like, mentions noodles, Seamus, almost without thinking, starts to jump up and run for the door. Realize, like, halfway to the door, he realizes, one, it's night, and he doesn't want to get gunned down by the bots anytime soon. And two, he has no idea where this noodle place is. And he just kind of stands there, just staring at the door for a minute before, like, as Zid's talking and explaining all this, and then finally just walks back to the table and just slumps back in on the bench or in the chair or whatever, and lets out a sigh. So, I guess the most important question is, where'd you get them? Look, I know you've been mapping the place out. Just show me where it's at, and
He goes, "Don't you worry, I've got you covered, man." And he says, "You know, this place that's on the corner of that intersection. I think you walk past there to get to your job, and then you go down that down there, and you turn left."
He said, "Did you want to say you grabbed a pack of noodles for him?" It's kind of like one of those, Chinese takeout food containers.
Sure. He goes, "But you know what? That's where it is. But I got something special for you." And he reaches into his back pocket and he pulls something out, and he goes, "Now, close your eyes." No, just kidding. And he gives him a pack of noodles.
You know the little Chinese takeout boxes? Yeah, it's one of those of noodles
It
for you.
might not
that he
be
brought
as
you.
good as the real deal, but I figured that you might want something a little bit more substantial than what we have been eating. I got one for you too here, Blackstone, if you're interested.
Damn straight.
Seamus is like, you place it in his hands, and he's just kind of looking down at it, just holding it, staring at it, and he looks back up at you, and he's legitimately crying.
Say thank
And
you.
just looking back down. Zid, I don't care what Blackstone says about you. You're the greatest.
Says, no, man. I am just glad to see a smile on your face. It has been a couple of days, well, since all of this mine things happened, but yes, it is nice. I hope that it tastes as good as it did in the store, and if not, you know where it is for tomorrow.
So
Seamus is not. Seamus has tried some pretty fancy dining, being a fixer. You know, he's gotten his hands on a few pretty fancy things. He's not used to fancy food, but he likes his food. Like the stuff he tries to get the best that he can get, you know, without breaking himself or whatever. Right. So this kibble has just been the worst. That's why he's just so excited to have this. Even if it tastes like cardboard, it's a flavored cardboard. It's an upgrade over the kibble.
Yeah.
and you know what? I'll even split mine with Doc, because I'm pretty sure Doc would prefer not to eat nasty kibble. So I'll give Doc some of mine.
Well, and he sees like Blackstone's already given it to Doc, and like at some point Seamus leans into Blackstone and it is just like, Doc's he might not see it, but he's an efficiency person. He mostly likes his whatever's put in front of him. If you ever want to give your food to somebody else, I know somebody else that would thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, you know, you've already got your own. You got your own. You have your own portion. Doc can have half of mine, and you know what? Like, it's okay. He can have. He'll be okay with some noodles. Everybody wants something different every now and again.
I want to know how you react when you see Doc eating the kibble.
Seamus just turns his back on Doc completely and looks at Blackstone and like motions his hand over towards Doc. You see, first of all, bold of you to assume that I was talking about me, that you could share that with. There's at least one other person in this room that you could share it with. I could have been talking about anybody.
I could take some too if you'd like.
See?
You know what? I haven't eaten yet. Hey, I haven't eaten yet.
Seamus chokes on his noodles.
So, I haven't eaten yet. I gave half of it to Doc. You know what, Shadow? You can have the other half. I will not eat mine.
Seamus just throws up his hands now.
Thank you for the idea, Samus. Thank you. Thank you for the guilt trip.
Seamus throws up his hands in frustration at you and has completely forgotten about the worries that he had only moments ago.
You're welcome. I'll just go without noodles tonight. Thank you.
Oh, I can
As
go
a matter
get
of
some
fact,
if you'd like.
No, that's okay. I'll take my English breakfast kibble. It's fine. I'm just gonna vomit again.
Seamus, when you hear again, you think back to this morning mission.
Seamus,
as a matter of fact, now I hope that I forget all of this. And Seamus is going to take
you can share yours with me if you want.
Cup of noodles. Oh, Seamus is already taking his cup of noodles. He's sitting on the end of his bed now. Eating his cup of noodles back to Blackstone for sure. Like, as uncomfortable as it may be, he's sitting in a way that's he's trying to ignore you at this point.
Sure, it's fine. I get it. Even though I just talked you off from the ledge, you were losing your shit. I helped you out.
But the best part is, Blackstone has literally talked Seamus from a ledge back to a ledge.
And no appreciation given. None.
You know that annoying slurp that people do with drinks or noodles or whatever. Like he does the like. There's no way this noodle could be this long, but Seamus slurps. I mean, the noodle that he slurps has to be at least like 2 or 3 feet long. There's no way there's a noodle in this box like this, but that's his response to Blackstone.
That's fine. Enjoy your noodles. I'm glad that you get to partake in your wonderful gift.
If I had known that there would be such passive aggressiveness in this room, maybe I wouldn't have bought your noodles at all.
Zid, I thank you. I thank you very much for bringing noodles back for all of us.
Yes,
I really
and for giving you a guilt trip and everything else. It has been so good.
You're not guilt tripping me. Asshole over there is guilt tripping me.
Well,
who's the asshole now?
All you have to do is follow the directions tomorrow if you want some.
It appears you all tend to take turns at that.
Stock's turn.
At least we're not creepy assholes.
Granted. I'm only one of those, though.
I've been locked in a room with you twice.
Once.
I think that qualified. Twice.
Second time was not my doing.
No one said it was, but you were
got you
there.
out of that one.
Could be our. You're still creepy.
I said one of those.
Hey, you know what? He's the reason why I got out.
It's not my fault that I was cursed with a mutation that doesn't allow me to be light without burn. You should try it.
Are we gonna
well,
are we gonna talk to him about like the job and getting phase up?
That is actually why I'm here. I've been able to track down a way to give you some time off. You're taking mission. In fact, I can get nighttime exit permission. So that you could technically all the other people listing, but you still would have to not aggravate the bots in their duties. The other teams are not shaping up to capable of the undertaking, so I'm here to ask you all if you would do so.
You see, I said this at the beginning of this episode that this would be happening, and here we are. That's foreshadowing for you.
I mean, I do like shadows. They don't burn.
You know what? I'm ready to get out of here. So let's break your buddy out.
Affirmative. What do you need in
You guys want to break him out?
For that plan to succeed?
One more time.
What do you need in preparations for the plan to succeed? And it'd be good to know what the plan is.
So I guess a good question to ask is our four-armed, four-metal-armed friend in our path or not?
Negative.
We need significantly less than.
He's being held in a subsector of the security. So you would have to deal with a branch of the security to acquire his release.
I'm pretty confident in my skills, personally. How do you all feel about your security breaching skills?
I do not mean security as in a system, as in secure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no. This little gun right here says that I'm good.
Okay.
Zid says, has the passive aggressiveness made you quick on the trigger, man?
Oh, she's thirsty. She's a thirsty girl. She hasn't had anything to drink in a few days.
You see a image of a girl just beyond Blackstone, looking at the gun inquisitively, shaking her head. Of course, Sid's the only one.
I was actually going to ask that earlier. Like, can he see, like, is it with his eyes? Can he see like an image of Angel, like
at
in
times.
his space, like
At times.
augmented reality? Okay.
Of course, no one else can see it because it's only within his own
Sure.
mind.
Yeah. Like Johnny Silverhand-esque. Yeah.
Except,
Yeah, no, I'm
not like
I'm
a physical
definitely
form.
itching.
It's more of like a hologram form.
Mhm.
Since
Yep.
she's not human, she doesn't take a human form.
I guess
I'm
that's. I guess we have to decide if we're going in with lethal force or we're trying to do it subtly or talk our way in or.
Indeed. That is why I was wondering what you need. If you're going in guns
Guns.
blazing, I'm sure you're going to
Lots of
potentially
guns.
need some armaments. If you're going in more subtly, you might need this, security fix or something to access. If you're going in diplomatically, well, maybe you just need Seamus to have a good night's sleep.
I don't think, unless our new clearance affords us an opportunity in there, I know I mentioned talking, but I don't think simply talking is going to get us in there. Unless you could arrange for, or unless someone could arrange for the dumbest guards that they have to be guarding it. But if we're talking actual meat sacks between us and him, I think that we're going to need armaments and potentially armor either way.
Armor for sure.
Or we could potentially, and I don't know how likely this is, perhaps we could arrange for some of these guards to unfortunately meet an early doom and take their uniforms and go in as guards.
I like that idea.
We could no, never mind.
What
Doc's
was
been
it,
pretty
Seamus?
shite. Doc's been pretty shite at making things lately.
I shake my head vigorously.
He might end up trying to put them out of their misery and, I don't know, powering them up or something.
Does he still have chems to make speed heals? Does anybody
Yes.
want to roll for him? I'm not going to. I've already failed my roll for tonight.
What do we need to roll?
Speed heals. Oh, that's farmer, right?
Yeah.
It's a farmer roll.
Yeah.
Luck it up too.
Where's that at?
It's under roll. It's the med tech roll.
Oh, okay.
you
I just
can't
saw
add.
medtech and
You
didn't.
can't add luck, right?
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. Very good.
There you go. I'll take care
Much
of
better.
it.
I
Much better.
got 20. So yes, he's actually able to make some speed heal. Instead of, avoiding.
Instead of like knocking himself out again, giving himself a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to admit that was pretty fun.
It was.
With all the progress that we have made, Doug, are you a little more assured that we might find our way out a legitimate way instead of being so fixated on your little
I don't know.
breakout project?
I still think my idea probably would be best. I should try it.
I'm gonna give you a no.
I had to based on
I
how
think you're-
he's been played.
I think your friend over here also is gonna give you a no, a stronger no. I think I know that you want out. We're working on it. We will get out. Just bide your time.
Everyone has a nice flashback to him closing his eyes, focusing really hard, and then screaming. Drip down.
Yeah, how'd that feel, buddy?
It
didn't feel very good, eh?
Just so the two of you know, Zed and Blackstone, this is not the first time Doc has done that or had that reaction to that. That happens quite often. It's not usually in a way that we know can kill him.
Okay. That's distressing.
You get used to it after a while.
I don't know if I want to take pharmaceuticals from him. I don't care if he rolls a double 10. It's fine. No, but I'm ready to get going. Let's rest up and. Okay, wait a minute. So this nighttime off, is it immediate, or do we have to go through?
No, I have to go and put.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking now, so that
Okay.
I can do any preparations that are needed.
So, Zid, do you think that you would need like any programs for your cyber deck that would be helpful? Like, say if we had to deploy said turret.
I do not think that this is the time or the place to deploy the turret personally.
Okay.
However, I suppose it is a possibility. As for what I need, what would be really good would be the layout of the area where he is being held. What would be really good is a timetable of the changes of the gods. What would be really good is so many things, passwords that they might have, processes that they might have, a dispatch letter to say that this prisoner can be transferred to a different room that we control. There are so many things that we could use. But perhaps we
What he said. What he said.
I do not know what is possible.
What can you do for that?
I can only certain minutes. The longer we take the difficult, I like me.
I mean, the best method is probably the letter of authentic, or the authentic letter saying that he's to be transported. That would probably be the best way of moving him without like tripping, quote unquote, tripping like alarms.
That is
Whereas
true.
I
However,
am in favor. Sorry, go ahead.
It's all right.
I am in favor of potentially incapacitating some gods, pretending we are gods, and going in that way, and then blaming the gods that were meant to be there for losing their prisoner, so that you had some. Was it you, Sir Shadow, that could put the gods to sleep for a short while? Perhaps that might be useful in this situation, so that nobody knows any different. However, they might then track your substance back to you. I do not necessarily want that to be a problem.
I doubt they would track it to me. If they did, they wouldn't know what to do. I just have a limited amount of it I can do, and it's to raise an alarm, bound to be uncovered.
Of course.
A flawless option.
No, but if we were the gods for a while, they go unconscious, we put them inside, we are the gods for a while, people come past, they see gods, they not pay attention. And then, when we are done, we put the gods back to place, they do not remember, and it is all their fault. What about you, Seamus? What is your preference in all of this? Is there a different plan that you prefer? Or is there one that seems better amongst Blackstone's or mine?
I like your plan, Zed. The only thing that I can think of that might make it better is if we could find out who said guards were before they took the shift, and we could put them to sleep there and just assume the shift as if we were them. I mean, obviously we wouldn't stay and work it, but you know, just do what we have to do, and then hope that their meat sacks as well, because I'm sure they're going to be incinerated for abandoning the rest of their shift for when we leave.
Now, I can get some aspects to this, but you all are going to have to acquire and provision some of it yourselves. So what is it you feel you can provide, and what do you need me to provide?
Well, perhaps Seamus could get us some uniforms. That might be something that could be done. I could potentially forge a digital guard signature of some kind, or some electronic door passes. Blackstone could. What is it that you could do in this situation?
I don't appreciate what you're insinuating. No, I can I can fabricate. I can definitely make some stuff. What can I make? Fabricate's a 2. If we need to jerry rig, that's pretty good for me too. So I can either, I'm much better at making things up on site on the fly than I am on actually like creating things, because I don't even know that I have anything to create with right now.
Perhaps a skeleton key, or perhaps a place to duplicate a key, or I don't know.
Identity ID badges. You may replicate one of those while you have them unconscious with your own identity, so you may want to get some items in place so that's possible to do.
Okay.
Yes, Blackstone could duplicate them if we can manage to. Excellent.
Precisely.
I am not so foreign from pickpocketing. You could possibly confiscate something as well between now and then. Maybe.
That would give him more time to make it a higher quality by putting time into it, potentially.
Yeah, I lost my pickpocketing ability, so I can do picklock, but I can't do pickpocket. Well, I'm 8, but
We need both.
okay.
It's not my
Let me
absolutely
check
best
my
thing, but
score. I could probably do that. I think I have decent stuff.
okay.
I think Doc's even better at me than pickpocketing, which is unheard of.
Oh, I do want to say something on
Nope,
your
never mind.
stuff. I found out something fiddling with your character sheet. If you go
Yeah.
to fight and instead of meet actions you click net,
Yeah.
you actually have the cloak and backdoor and everything there, and that is where you can actually add your luck.
Oh.
I thought I'd mention that.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah.
I could work on getting the schedule of who's on duty, but I need to know what day we want to plan this for.
We need time to fabricate,
Yep.
but we don't want to wait too long.
Okay.
What do we think about 3 days?
I like that.
I'll have my part done.
Me too.
Alright. Go and
Once I have the
find that.
pieces, at least I can fab.
Is there anything else you need me to do during those 3 days other than pick down those individual?
So
and
we're
layout?
just getting the list. So we're getting. I'm potentially getting an ID badge early. Submitting that. We're getting some individuals. We're getting a timetable of when the guards shift. We're getting ID badges replicated so that we've got that. We're getting uniforms from Seamus. Potentially. Can anyone think of anything else? Can our characters think of anything else using a skill that we might need in this situation? I'm trying to think about it as a player, but
I'm gonna. So would tactics help? Like to figure out like.
Tactics could potentially give you like insight on how they might do it, but you probably would need the layout or something to base it off of.
yeah, to go off of.
All right, so we'll do that after we get the pieces. Let's see.
I can't think of anything as a player right now. We've
Okay.
already seen that I've got gaps because I didn't remember to put a delay on it for the nighttime.
Let's see.
Want to do it at night?
Do
Day?
the
What's the plan on when you want to do it?
let's get the information first, the timetable first, and then make that decision based on when the shifts are.
Okay. They have shifts around the clock. There's more during the day than at night. But there's the potential for other commotion during the day as well. It's all up to you guys and how you want to utilize it. Go about it.
I think nighttime would be less noticed.
Yeah, the only thing that worries me about nights are the bots, but if we can find a way to not be noticed by those, then I think nighttime would be the best. But
Oh, that's a good point. But at the same time, if our ID badges say that we're supposed to be there, then the bots should ignore us.
yeah, that's kind of what I mean. If that works, if that's what we figure out that'll work, then I think nighttime's best. If we're not sure if that will affect or not, because I mean, if we can't change this, then I don't know if finding a way to shield us from the bots is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is kind of your thoughts on how you want to do that with the bots? You can get... She did tell... Sorry, my throat decided to be a pill. You were told by Shadow that they can get a pass in place for you to be out at night, but that the bots would... You'd still need to not impede the bots' work.
So impeding the bot's work as opposed to...
Just don't step in front of the Roomba.
It means that
so
there's still some limitations and there's still some surveillance. And Shadow did mention that there is security guards on duty during the night still, just fewer, right?
Yeah, but if the ID cards are made the way that they're supposed to be, we're technically supposed to be there, so they should technically ignore us. But of course, I could fuck up. I could completely screw up the fab and it'd say that we're supposed to be there, but I messed up, and they ignore the fact that we're supposed to be there, and I don't know.
We cannot accommodate for every possible thing that goes wrong. All we can do is do our best. We have a solid plan. We're agreed that nighttime is probably the best time. People are more likely to sleep through their shifts. It probably happens all the time. So less suspicion, less activity. We have uniforms, we have IDs, and if we get found out, we deal with that when it happens.
Yes. Thank you for rallying the troops, so to speak.
He goes, I just want to get out of here.
I know you do, bud. So do I.
All right. The next morning, you're given identities of 4 individuals that apparently are some targets you can utilize as the nighttime security, and where they'll be this evening, so you can try to pickpocket their badge to make a duplicate when they're coming off duty. So on your way to work this morning, you can pick their badge and then where to meet up with them before they get on duty so their badge is back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so basically like take it, add it, or copy it, put it back.
Which gives you 1 day to try to succeed without it being really noticed. Or low chance of being noticed.
It's a short time frame, but given everything, hopefully it'll be enough. If we have to adjust it, we have to adjust it.
Let's see. So I guess we're all going to pickpocket.
No, Zid was going to do that, I believe you said, or you pick someone to basically go do that.
I mean, Docs is a 12.
Yeah, Docs is the best. I'm at a 10, but after today's session, I might be able to get it up to an 11 or a 12.
You can have Doc do it if you want. It fits Doc's persona of being oversized, fitting into small spaces, and swiping things from people.
I mean, he's got it there for a reason. We don't know why.
He's a very good doctor. Doesn't happen to do anything while he's working on his patients. I mean, clients.
He has very steady hands.
And we could also fabricate a situation to make it easier for Doc, like if he's in the if he's in medical, because he works in medical, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we can fabricate a situation where a guard that we've identified needs to go to medical, then he has even more distraction to get hold of something.
As long as it's not too severe where they can't then be on duty, because then you would sabotage your ability to utilize that person's shift and identity.
Or maybe Doc just sees them on the way to his job.
It's up to you guys. I'm just saying, like,
no.
You don't want to,
No,
like, you know, run in there, put a round through their head. Right.
That wasn't my initial thought, but
no,
you know.
But I could see that being Blackstone's potentially, since you said he's itching to squeeze off rounds from his pistol.
I mean, a nice pistol whip wouldn't be horrible.
Potentially, yeah.
But it's fine.
I'm just telling you guys, like, it's up to you how you want to handle it.
Yeah. I mean, my pickpocket is a base 8. It's not nearly as good as Doc's. So,
okay.
I'm gonna roll Doc's.
Sure.
I'm gonna, just to make sure it succeeds, because this is extremely important. The Doc 3 lock in.
He doesn't have any luck.
Is Doc doing all the pickpocketing or just this?
Yeah. He's doing this one, which is pickpocketing these guys. I'm kind of bundling it together some.
Is he doing all 4?
He's at least getting what he needs so that you can copy what the 4 of them are. So whether it's 2 and they're similar enough that you can do the others, it's basically, he's swiping what he needs.
Right.
Don't forget before you use the luck.
Mm-hmm.
My other question would be, I'm assuming that this isn't going to count for putting it back as well.
Yeah, you will need to put it back as well.
Yeah, I'm using half now, and I'll use half.
Okay, I just want to make sure it wasn't like I'm assuming it's going to work for one and dump all the luck. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't going to put all.
It'll be 2 rolls. The other one will be varied on difficulty based on when you get it back and whether you mess it up or not. Some things like that.
Okay.
23. Heroic. Almost incredible. So yeah, he swipes them as they're heading to their rooms, groggy. Just like, whoosh, and then he leaves it in the dead drop for Blackstone.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll my fab.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna put it under. So I think electronic security tech is probably the good one.
Okay.
Or I could do basic tech. I mean, I have higher in basic tech, but I don't think that's as. I think electronic security tech for ID cards is probably the best, right?
I can see that. The electronic security tech is, kind of probably makes the most sense on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I could cheat and say basic tech because I have higher, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think the other one does fit better. You're correct. 19. You make a fairly good copy. Not quite heroic, but professional grade anyways, which means it's usable.
What's needed? Yeah.
It's at least means it's not going to be blatantly obvious to someone who knows exactly what to look for. That it's forgery. It's going to be harder, right? You're basically setting the DVs that other people have to beat for it. And so now they at least have to be suspicious before they're even going to roll against your DV to check, right? So it's all basically a game of the better you do, the easier you'll have later. And the more coverage you have for if you botch things up.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to put them back.
Yep. So now Doc's going to return them. And 29.
They were just never gone.
Doc is legendary. All right. Seamus, I believe now's the time that we need you to place an acquisition on those outfits. What is the means of acquisition you want to place?
I mean, I can do conceal reveal. I can do haggle again. Like my rollability haggle.
Sure. It depends on.
My high score is persuasion, but I don't think that it would be a good idea to try to persuade someone to get to give them to me.
Yeah, and that's where it comes in more.
Want that connection there.
How you want to do it will depend on more which skill would fit best, right? So if you're trying to make sure no one sees it, then you'll want to do, more the stealth route of swiping it. Whereas if you want to act like you have a legitimate reason, you could potentially go with haggle or persuade or something like that, right? So what is the means, like how does our good friend Seamus the Fixer want to go about acquiring these?
I think this time he's probably going to go conceal reveal and try to get them without anyone seeing.
Okay.
Because I don't think he wants to have someone associate this, associate this with him or his group if it goes south. It's one thing if it goes south and they associate with him, but yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
He doesn't want someone else to be able to talk about it. $25.
Oh, that is incredible. You guys are rolling so well on this. You can make it so
They
next.
has been ridiculous for rolls.
Well, you guys had some really abysmal ones to start with, right? And now we're on the other end of it, getting everything set up and prepared, which at this hour is going to have to be, next session. But you're getting everything lined up for the actual invasion into the security room and getting this guy out, right? And you're just like lining yourselves up for such success by just nailing these DVs very high. Beautiful. So you're able to get outfits that are proper guard outfits. You find the cleaners and you swipe some clean ones that were just freshly laundered, ready to go back out to circulation, and you just like grab them as you're going by on your daily duties. All right. Was there anything else you guys wanted to prepare?
All right, so let's see. We got the IDs. We got the uniforms.
We're getting the map from Shadow.
She's gonna try.
The schedule.
Do I need any codes or anything?
Actually, I could see you doing that. Let's have Zid do a... what would it be? Probably a Pathfinder roll. Basically, like, map out some details of what their stuff is. It's basically, I'm trying to give you an interface roll. Because it makes sense that you're using your, your technical expertise doing a search. So let's have you do a pathfinding and then a library search. Basically, data investigation.
So, do I need Pathfinder?
And Pathfinder, and I'm saying that just so that you can click on it on that one so that you can use your luck or whatever you want with it. Since just clicking the interface doesn't have those options.
Yeah. So, can you describe to me how these tasks are being split up? So, what each of them are for? So, the Pathfinder is.
The pathfinding. is literally what its description is determine the layout of a net architecture. So basically, you're getting in and you're investigating before you start diving, right? So you remember the net run you did?
Yeah.
If you had done pathfinding in that, it would tell you, hey, this floor has a... Well, yeah, it would be, you know, this floor has a black ice. This floor has a lock. This floor has a node. Things like that. So it doesn't give you, like, the specifics. It doesn't let you pass certain things. But it gives you, as far as you can go, the layout of the net architecture. So it kind of gives you a general map.
And the library?
That's to basically search, once you get in there, within the file structure of finding details. You're searching a library documents for information.
I'm going to make the Pathfinder check flat, and I'll make the library with my last luck.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, very nice.
14. Got a 9.
And then, what did you say? Library.
Yep.
With a
Library
luck.
search. And a 15. Nice. So those are both still difficult level successes, right? So fairly decent objectives. So you're able to find some additional details out about what's there and what's going on. So that'll basically reveal some additional map stuff. Was there anything else you guys wanted in preparation for?
I don't think so. I'm just trying to think.
My only other question or wonder would be, would these guards have armaments? And if so, are we gonna take armaments from our stash and use them just in case? Or are we gonna do that whether the guards would have that or not?
I'm taking my pistol, at least. If somebody else wants, if somebody has shoulder arms, they're more than welcome to take the AR.
Now, Blackstone, have you been walking around the whole complex with this thing?
No, it's in the stash.
Okay.
Why would I do something stupid like that?
I'm just making sure.
You really want to take this damn thing from me?
I just want to make sure that wise choices are treated wisely and less so are less so. That's all.
Well, and that leads me to my other question would be that, are we comfortable using our stashed weapons in this scenario? Getting them out of the stash, bringing them into the complex, and potentially having something go wrong and not having them anymore. Also, secondary question, are we going to actually be able to leave that night, go to our stash, get our stuff, bring it back in the complex, and do the job, and then take them back and restore them in the stash?
I don't know.
Or should we just go in without, or should we try to get some from our friend Shadow as well?
I was going to say, you guys could either try to acquire it yourselves and then have it stashed somewhere nearby so you're not running through the whole complex armed, or
you know what?
You could see if Shadow could get it for you.
For this, since this is so important and I don't want to mess it up, I will not hamper the team's success by carrying contraband with me. We can procure it, and you can get me just a regular old heavy pistol, and I will happily use that.
Now, I will say that's probably a wise choice, because you were told the robots are still on duty.
Mm-hmm.
And could see if the robots saw contraband,
Yeah. Oh yeah, they take.
Still,
They would be like, hey,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I wasn't gonna blatantly say it, but
Sure.
what were you saying, Seamus?
I was just gonna say they'd more be like, "Hey, rat tat tat tat."
Yeah, they wouldn't even ask questions. They'd be like, red alert, boom, boom, boom.
Well, they probably wouldn't say anything. You just turn around a corner and all of a sudden see this large gun aiming at you and just... That's all she wrote.
I guess the first track would be to try to see if Shadow could procure something. If not, or if it's too much, then I guess Seamus would try to get more.
What is it you'd like Shadow to get you?
Blackstone, you're the expert on this part. You wanna take lead on this?
Yeah. So, is there a way to flag a particular weapon not as contraband?
Simply by it not being contraband.
Is there a way to add it to, say, a manifest?
Negative.
Something?
Is there one in particular you're talking about, like the one you have in your stash?
Yes, sir.
Those are ballistic weapons. Ballistic weapons do
we
not
need
exist within the
energy weapons.
compound.
Okay, so energy weapons it is. Alright, I would need an energy... let's see. Shotgun? Because I'm trying to get the same amount of firepower as the other. So I think that was a hand cannon.
A hand cannon does 4d6 and is a single shot.
Let's do the hand cannon then. An energy hand cannon.
Affirmative.
With plenty of energy rounds. Seamus, are you only good with pistols, my friend, or are you okay with shoulder arms as well?
I think pistols.
You already procured
shoulder
yours,
arms
right?
is evasive 7.
Yeah,
no.
You're not doing shoulder arms.
As far as I know, everything that Seamus has procured is all in the stash. Again, those wouldn't be contraband, I guess. We could bring those back in. But again, we would have to go all the way to the stash, bring them all the way through.
Okay. So I think procuring a weapon for each of the 4 of us, one weapon is probably not a bad idea. So heavy, so a hand cannon for me, energy. All these have to be energy weapons, obviously. So hand cannon for me, heavy pistol for Seamus, energy caster for Doc, and do you want the heavy pistol as well, Zed?
Yeah.
And a heavy energy pistol for Zed. So 2 heavy energy pistols, 1 one hand cannon energy, and 1 energy caster. All with requisite ammunition. Do the guard outfits come armored, or do we need to procure armor underneath?
No, they're just basic guard outfits.
Okay, so we're gonna need
not necessarily. Zid says, Blackstone, it is all well and good to be so prepared that nothing could possibly go wrong, but we could simply just have no issues when this time comes. And all of this preparation of finding this, finding that, getting all of this stuff, I just think this was going to work. And if it doesn't, maybe I will feel naked then. But
I'm just trying to protect my companions.
I understand, man, and maybe I am wrong. It is just... I feel like maybe you are overthinking it. That is
Okay.
my perspective. My perspective is flawed. Seamus, do you think that we are going to need armor?
Personally, I'd like not to be shot at without it, but I also think that it might be a bit much, and it might be... I could be wrong, but it might be pushing our timeline back a bit. Also, Doc, did the guards you lifted the cards from seem to have armor of any kind on the out, noticeable?
Two of them didn't. The other two had a basic gear equipment we got the first time around.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay. All right, we will go non-armored.
All right.
Apologies in advance if that gets us shot to pieces. We will see.
I'm not the one that's going to be dying.
Alright, I think we've got what we need.
Did you want to get any programs for your thing, or are you just going without programs?
I don't know that there's guards that are net runners that are required to go in.
No, but if they have a net architecture that you need to go into, you might. It's just whether you want to be prepared on that route or not. It may not be needed. It may be. It's unknown.
The only thing I can think of is if we need to unscramble a computer password to open a door or something. So is there a program that gives me a plus to that role of unscrambling a password?
Yeah, there's things that do all sorts of things. So, Speedy Gonzalez gives you +2 speed.
Don't think I'm gonna need it.
You have Super Glue, which makes it so enemy net runners cannot progress further into the net or safely jack out for a certain amount of time. You have CU, which gives you +2 to pathfinding checks.
Could be useful.
You have Poison Flatline, which destroys any non-black ice on an enemy netrunner's deck, so that's still an enemy netrunner. Nerve Scrub is against an enemy netrunner. Hellbolt is damage to an enemy. Flak, non-black ice attacks against you are reduced to 0. Eraser gives you +2 cloaking.
Okay.
So, I mean, some of them do give boosts like that.
Probably the Pathfinder, and is it a backdoor to unscramble a password or get through?
Yeah, backdoor is to hack password.
Yeah. Probably those.
So when you make this attempt, is there, or when Zid makes the attempt, is there a way that I can support him with my electronic security check?
No, because he's in the net when he does it.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I was gonna have anything, it would be those, but I don't... Zid feels like he'll probably be okay, but if there's anything, he would be like, you know, the names of the animals, the pets of the people that guarding, or their significant others. Just stupid, things like this that he might go in with armed. But I don't think that that's necessary to add to the list. Again, as Seamus pointed out, I think the more things that we pile on the top, we reduce the likelihood that we're going to succeed on the few things that we want, and we're going to add to the timeline. So I don't think I want to complicate it.
Okay.
Sounds good. I think we're set up pretty well for the next go around.
We've laid down a good foundation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, gentlemen, is there any other preparations or things you want to prepare for, or is that pretty happy with what we've got?
No.
I'm pleased.
All right. Well, due to the hour, we'll call it there tonight. And next session is going to be breaking out phase.
Combat, hopefully. No, not hopefully.
No, we don't want
Hopefully not.
combat.
It's
See, the thing is that I'm not bringing her, so she's thirsty, but I'm not bringing her, so we don't want combat.
She can wait.
She can wait.
So distinct possibility, but it is safer for your long-term longevity if you avoid it. So, there is that. But thank you all. You guys did awesome tonight. Let me go ahead and throw you guys your XP now. I've been doing it at the beginning of the episode, but it doesn't hurt to remember to do it at the end instead. You guys did awesome. So, actually bonus XP for how awesome you guys did. Because I hear the GM can do things they want.
Yeah.
And I find rewarding players when they did a awesome job, good thing to do. So well done. Well done. And we will see you all next Saturday for the breaking out of phase. And hopefully success at that. See you all next weekend.
Bye-bye, guys.